Well, greetings and salutations, imagination connoisseurs. It is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, Robert Meyer Burnett. I am not John Campea, but this is the John Campea Show, the greatest movie entertainment show on the internet, right here on John Campea's YouTube channel. John can't be here today, so he's had me come in and pinch hit for him. A baseball reference for you people out there.
I didn't know what that meant.
I'm just, and welcome to today's show. And of course, as always, I am joined by the woman of 1,000 voices, Chris Carr.
Hi, Rob. How you doing? How you feeling in that seat?
I don't know. I've never sat in the seat. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
Usually I'm not nervous, but I have big, tall shoes to fill.
You do.
And I'm worried about that. But you know who else is here? Rayora.
I'm back from the island, baby.
How was it? Did you have a passport problem?
No, but that chair looks comfortable.
It is a little comfortable, but it doesn't feel quite right. I like being a guest on John's show.
Yeah.
And of course, we have producer Jonathan Voico over there behind the guy behind the guy behind the guy. Jonathan, how are you?
Yay!
So exhausted. I went and saw last night this tribute to Daft Punk.
Ooh.
Arts District. It was under this 12,000 square foot dome with like 3D visuals like all around you, projected into the dome, and it wasn't Daft Punk. It was a group called One More Time, but they looked just like Daft Punk.
One more time. Did they play any of the Tron Legacy score?
They actually started with it. So
Oh, hell yeah.
It was like a kind of like a concept kind of concert, So it told a story, but it started with that.
Well, as you all know, we're going to jump right into this show. As the show goes, we split it into two parts. We have first predetermined topics, and then, of course, we take questions from you, the audience. And between those two sections, we will open up Super Chats, and you've got a couple of seconds, actually, a minute or two,
About a
to
minute.
fire in those Super Chats, and we will talk about things that you give us to talk about. So make them good. Now, we do have an off the top, and our off the top is this. As many of you know, I am a fan of the Fast and the Furious franchise. Chris Carr, I know you've become a Fast and the Furious fan.
Hobbs and Shaw, baby!
Okay, you've seen one. It's a spinoff, but that's okay.
Close.
Now, for those of you who have been watching Jack Reacher, Alan Ritchson, the star of Jack Reacher, he is a very strapping, handsome dude.
Mm-hmm.
He kicks ass in the action mode that we saw him in. He has been cast in Fast 10, Fast X, the next movie, which could be the beginning of the end of the franchise. But he has been cast. Of course, Justin Lin was recently replaced as the director of Fast 10 by Louis Leterrier, and apparently he's brought in Alan Ritchson. And this comes to us from Deadline. It's an exclusive article. Fast X, the 10th installment of the Fast and the Furious franchise, looks to have rounded out its all-star cast with Alan Ritchson, the breakout star of the new Jack Reacher series from Amazon Prime Video. Ritchson joins the pick, just set Louis Leterrier to replace Justin Lin as director. The film is in production with Vin Diesel and the core Fast and the Furious cast returning alongside franchise newcomers Jason Momoa and Brie Larson. I mean, what a cast.
They have everybody in this.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So first of all, what do you think of Alan? I mean, like I know him. Should I say Mr. Richardson?
I love that you're calling him Alan. You guys are buddies.
we
Me and Al, we go way back.
We go way back. What do you guys think?
I love this. I finally started watching Jack Reacher because you guys freaked out so much about the show, because before it wasn't really on my radar. And he's phenomenal. He is a really, really great actor. And, I went into it being like, he's cast because he's got the physicality. Does he have the chops? He does. He can just be really, really imposing, but also charming, really, really intelligent. You can see those wheels working all the time. So I'm excited to see him in this franchise, which I really have to start watching.
Now, Ray, have you watched?
I want to point out something. Can you bring up that Deadline thing again?
Yeah.
Jonathan? Doesn't he have my eyes? It's like my eyes, right?
Oh my gosh. We should
It's
do
like a
23andMe.
striking resemblance
Let's
of
see if
my
you guys
eyes.
are related.
Ray, have you watched the Jack Reacher show?
No, I haven't, but I know this guy is buff because I pulled some pictures of him for when we did a topic on him. And I'm like, okay, if him and Vin Diesel go head to head, if Vin Diesel comes late and he's the type of guy who likes to be punctual, we might have some more problems on the set.
I just like to know, like, obviously we heard that Justin Lin might have left because Vin Diesel was out of shape. I would not want to be on a set with Jason Momoa and Alan
Oh
Rickman.
yeah, I forgot. I completely
I was out of
forgot.
shape.
And Brie Larson,
And Brie Larson.
who can just do chin-ups all day long.
Yeah. I mean, this is one this is one fit
Yeah,
cast.
it's getting to the point where Helen Mirren's going to be able to deck him.
I'm gonna almost bet you that when he goes to his dressing room, there's gonna be a gift right at the front door from Vin, trying to get on his good side. Here's some cookies, new cast member.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the
Something
family.
very sugary to hopefully, cause a little
Well, for Fast 9, I still haven't seen it, but did you? I didn't hear if you liked it. Or not.
I was not a fan. Justice for
Wow.
all was not served as far as I'm concerned.
And you like a lot of stuff like me.
I do. I like a lot of things. Some things I don't like, but I like most things.
Oh man, so now I'm not even sure if I'm gonna watch it. I mean, it is free on HBO Max, right?
Yeah, you should watch it.
Probably.
Yeah, I should watch it.
You should. Why not? You've seen all the rest, right?
And I heard they go to space.
They get close to the moon. They do.
Yes.
So they do.
Almost a moonshot.
Well, listen, as you know, on the show, we take our main predetermined topics. And how do we get those main predetermined topics? We get them from you, from our loyal viewers. You can submit your topic or question and go to www.thejohncampeashow.com/contact. And you can send us, well, anything you think we should talk about. And if we deem it appropriate, we might just maybe, pick it as a topic for this show. Chris, what is our first topic?
That was a solid just
That
maybe,
was
by the way.
great,
Well
man.
done. All right, from Box Office Fan. Sam Raimi has just confirmed the wrap that Darkman 4 is in the works at Universal. Darkman had 3 movies, a TV movie, and a Marvel comic, then was gone. Now they're planning to bring him back again. Is this a great move, or should Darkman stay in the 90s?
Have you seen Darkman?
I have only seen the very end of Darkman, which is ridiculous.
Okay, Darkman is goofy fun. Raimi directed Frances McDormand, Oscar, one of the GOAT actresses of our time, was in that film. It is a hoot. It's a throwback to a different era. It's kind of an homage to Universal monster movies of the 30s and sort of the 40s as well. And Liam Neeson, before Liam Neeson had a particular set of skills, he does a great job playing a disfigured, bandaged, avenging angel, I guess.
Awesome.
But what's so fun about it is it's got that gonzo Sam Raimi Evil Dead. I mean, he hadn't made Army of Darkness yet, but he'd made things like the XYZ murders. He'd made Evil Dead. He'd made Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. And he was really in that mode. So it's very much a comic book movie, but it didn't yet come from a comic book until afterwards. This comes from our friends at The Wrap. The Wrap asked Raimi if he's ever thought about a Darkman Legacy sequel. And much to our surprise, the answer was yes. Yes, Universal is talking about a Darkman sequel. There's a producer attached, Raimi confirmed. I haven't heard the story yet or gone into it. I've been so busy with this movie, but I think it's cool. Darkman lives. Well, I have to tell you, I'll flex a little bit. So one of my first jobs in the entertainment industry is I worked at Warner Brothers. And they were scoring Darkman on the Warner Brothers lot. And I had met Sam Raimi through one of the people that I worked with. And they used to have a little, like a snack bar on the Warner lot where you could get like ice cream. You would have loved it. And you could get ice cream. And so one day I was like getting an ice cream in the afternoon and Sam Raimi was there. And he's like, hey, you're Lisa's friend. And I said, yeah. He goes, we're scoring Darkman here. And I got to go to the scoring stage where they were recording music, and I met Danny Elfman.
Oh my gosh.
So that was pretty fun. Oh. I'm a huge fan of Darkman.
You know what? I'm starting to think John may have trolled us with this topic, because when I came in, I was like, I haven't seen Darkman. None of them. I asked Chris, have you seen Darkman? No. Jonathan, you have to have seen Darkman.
No, but I am.
Nope.
Familiar with Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what the thing is? I mean, I think Darkman in the early 90s was very much a cult. It was one of those things that was always on HBO and people would rent it. And I think that it was very part of a very specific era. Mm-hmm. I think if you watch it now, maybe it's a little goofy for our post MCU world. But that's what makes it charming.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
think we could use more goofy. I'm fine with that. And I love Sam Raimi choices, right? I'm not a big horror fan, as we all well know, but I love his work because it has that camp element to it. Because there is a little bit of a wink and a nod to the audience of, you're getting into shenanigans with us. Things are just going to be weird and wild.
And this movie is full of shenanigans. And look, some of the special effects don't really hold up in this day and age because this was sort of there's some early CG, but pre-CG stuff. And it's not a big budget movie, but it goes a long way toward explaining why Sam Raimi became a fan favorite, not just from the Evil Dead movies. And it's interesting because it was a precursor. I went to work for the makeup effects company that worked on Darkman, and then they did the Evil Ash stuff in Army of Darkness. So it was sort of a precursor to what Sam Raimi did with Army of Darkness. So because both of those movies, if you want a goofy time at the picture shows, watch Darkman and Army of Darkness as a double
Army of
feature
Darkness is so
for a
good.
double shot of Sam Raimi wackiness.
I gotta ask you a question, Rob. What's with I don't know if this is gonna spoil stuff, but why is his face wrapped? Did he get burnt or something?
Come on, dude. Really?
Come on, it's
I'm not
19
going to tell you.
Oh.
I'm not going to. You know how John is about spoilers. I don't
know.
care. This movie came out in 1990. I refuse to be. You know what? I spoil enough on this show.
I was going to say, I have a spoiler adjacent question.
Well, because if we want to skip those and want to get right into 4 when it comes out, and by the way, this thing is going to look incredible if they do another Darkman, like with the effects we have now.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, it's going to look tons better. But
Well, I think
I
you should delve into the original, and see what joy it might have for you.
You're selfish, Rob.
Well, okay. We
You're
do
selfish
know
with
at
your
least if
knowledge.
you go on IMDb that Darkman is played by other people down the line with other things. Do you think that is something that is a positive for this being a franchise with so many actors who don't want to sign up for like a 6-picture Marvel deal of getting to play a hero or anti-hero and then getting to bounce if they want to?
I think this is a role that somebody would sign up for 3 movies.
Okay, cool.
I think absolutely. I mean, look, and this was also before Liam Neeson was Liam Neeson. Yeah. And people remembered him from he was in Excalibur for a little bit of a scene. But I thought this was one of the first times where I recognized Liam Neeson and said, I like that guy. He's cool.
He's going places.
He's going places.
Although now I'm getting echoes of just take the elephant.
Well, Chris.
Oh, the question is for you guys though, right? We got to ask the chat here.
Well,
What do you
you mean
think?
I was going to ask you one last thing.
Oh,
Are
sorry.
you going to now go rent maybe this weekend? Are you going to rent Darkman?
Maybe.
Come on, be honest, Chris.
I mean, Logan, I bet, loves this movie.
He probably should.
He probably loves this. I'm going to go home and he's going to be like, you haven't seen this movie, which is a big running topic at our home when I come home. And he's like, how have we been married and you don't know any of these movies that I love?
Don't know. Well, what about you guys? Have you seen Darkman? Do you want to see Darkman? Are you Sam Raimi fans? Jump down in the comments and tell us what you think. How was that?
That was great.
Chris, what is today's topic number 2?
Topic number 2 comes from Jake. Hey, John, or in this case, hey, Rob. Did you see that Francis Ford Coppola finally has assembled some of the cast for his new movie, Megalopolis? The movie sounds really interesting. What are your thoughts?
Well, okay. First of all, I have to tell you, Francis Ford Coppola is one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. The Godfather, of course, he won an Academy Award for writing Patton. He, of course, made Apocalypse Now, which I can watch over and over and over again. I'm even a huge fan of Godfather Part 3.
Whoa.
He made things like the Rainmaker, which is a great Matt Damon, Mickey Rourke
Such a
movie.
good movie.
Of course, he made the S.E. Hinton double shot of Outsiders and Rumblefish, which I love. One from the Heart. It's one of my favorite filmmakers. He's been talking about making this movie for a very long time. And he's in his 80s now, and he's decided to do, even though he's done this before in his life, the one thing you're not supposed to do in Hollywood, which is invest your own money. He's going to spend his own money to make this dream project that he's worked on for a long time, developing the script, Megalopolis. And apparently the budget is around the $120 million range. And of course, while he's one of the most revered filmmakers we have working today, he's also made a lot of money with his wines.
Yeah.
And the Coppola wines, I really love his wines, and I probably like them more than I should, but they're quite good. I am I am very excited about this movie, and this comes to us from our friends at Screen Rant. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Megalopolis has cast Adam Driver, Natalie Emmanuel, Lawrence Fishburne, who, by the way, he gave his first job to. Coppola had Lawrence Fishburne work for him when he was still named Larry, when he was 14 years old.
Oh, dang.
In his first role in Apocalypse Now. And Forrest Whitaker, set in modern-day New York, but told like a grand epic similar to Ben-Hur, Coppola is self-financing Megalopolis, which reportedly has a budget that ranges from $100 to $120 million. Coppola has sold his winery to help fund the film.
Wow.
I guess I didn't know that. That's sad for me. And at the time, was looking at stars like Oscar Isaac, Zendaya, and Cate Blanchett. Most recently, Robert Duvall, who has starred in 4 of Coppola's films, said Christian Bale was being considered for the lead role. Now, let me ask you both. Hearing all of this, is Megalopolis something that you find yourself interested in perhaps seeing?
What is it about? I'm really excited about the casting. I love Adam Driver. He's the only thing I liked in House of Gucci, because he was in a very different movie than everyone else in that film. Everyone was in their own movie, and Adam Driver committed to one that I was like, that's the movie I want to watch.
I liked House of Gucci, but you're right. Look, I think that they should make a spin-off movie with Jared Leto's character just wandering around the world talking like he talks to anyone who will listen.
I love that. I'd watch it. But I think the Adam Driver makes everything great. So what do you think?
I'm just saying, like, this if this is his backup cast from his initial choices, I mean, man, he's starting at the top of the list. Christian Bale was supposed to be the lead of this, and now it's just Adam Driver. It's not downgrade at all. It's pretty much right there still. So but after watching The Godfather, I think I'm down for this movie. It sounds like there's a guy. I guess the story is a guy's trying to rebuild New York,
right?
Like a utopia in New York or something like that.
Some kind of a disaster.
Oh,
so it might have a sci-fi bent to it.
That's interesting.
My question, Rob, is, like all of his. Well, I've only seen The Godfather. Is he an effects heavy guy, like a CGI?
You mean Coppola?
Yeah.
No, I mean, as a matter of fact. I'm always banging on about verisimilitude. I think that one of the great scenes in any motion picture ever is the helicopter attack on the beach in Apocalypse Now. There's no CG in it at all. It's all practical. They use the Philippine Air Force's helicopters, and it's an incredible feat. You watch that sequence. You could never do that today. You could never get the insurance to do it. They would do it with CG. You would never have that visceral impact.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think he might do with this movie, knowing the story behind it. Like, do you think he's going to go more practical, or?
I think that anything that's dealing with some kind of a disaster in New York or rebuilding a city, they're going to have to use CG. I mean, it's interesting if you look at his movie One from the Heart. They had all of these great miniatures of Las Vegas with neon signs, and it worked because it was very stylized. Which, by the way, where is that 4K or Blu-ray disc? Do you know? I didn't think so, but hey, I'd love to get it. But yeah, I think that they're going to rely on because Coppola was friends with George Lucas. One of the reasons he took The Godfather was because of George Lucas saying, "Look, Francis, we need money to keep American Zoetrope going." So that's I think he would have access to the very best effects.
I also got to say, I admire him for actually going all in on what he's been wanting to do for a long time. Not a lot of people want to take that risk. I guess he can. He has a lot of money, but even small risks. You know what I mean? To like get, you be happy. So
well, I mean, again, he joins the pantheon of filmmakers like Ridley Scott and now Clint Eastwood's in his 90s. Cry Macho, he starred and made it when he was 91, and now Coppola's in his 80s. Ridley Scott's in his 80s. These guys are not. Woody Allen is still making movies in his 80s. Nobody. These men they stand as a testament to you don't have to give up.
I love when you mention Ridley Scott. I always get a smile on my face because he is the director of my favorite movie of all time, The Martian.
What a great film! By the way, do you know what next month is?
What?
The 40th anniversary of Blade Runner.
Ooh.
What that has to do with anything, I don't
Fun
know.
fact.
One last note, Rob. I found a Godfather 6-inch figure last night. And man, yeah, it's by Shark Toys. Have you seen it?
No, did you buy it?
Looks like no, not yet. It's like $130. I got to finance that thing. like 4 months or like 6 month financing.
I love that you and I both finance action figures. What that says about us, I don't know. But what about you? What about you? Are you guys excited for Francis Ford Coppola's new epic Megalopolis that he is self-financing? What do you think of Coppola's other films? Tell us right down there in the comments section. We want to hear from you. And you know who else we want to hear from? The delicious folks that help sponsor this show at HelloFresh.
Hey guys, we want to take a moment and thank a sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. So guys, look, my wife Ann and I were both working professionals, so we know how tricky, difficult, and time-consuming it can be to try to eat properly and prepare your own meals at home. And that's why, like over a year ago, we started using HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. I mean, you skip the trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and probably most importantly, affordable. HelloFresh offers the flexibility you need to easily customize your orders online or right in the app. Easily change your delivery day, food preferences, and plan size, or skip a week whenever you need to. HelloFresh is 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal of the exact same quality, and you can save on average over $65 a month when you order HelloFresh instead of going grocery shopping. So guys, I'm telling you, whether you are single or have a family, you are going to love HelloFresh. So go to HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use the promo code Campea16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's again, HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use that promo code Campea16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
And thanks to the folks at HelloFresh. When you go there and use our code, well, you support this channel as well as HelloFresh. Chris, what is our third main topic?
Our third topic comes from Super Mario. I love you, man. Hello, John and crew. I just read an article from The Wrap that claimed that the Oscar fan favorite Twitter poll was rigged by bots to cast votes for Army of the Dead. Bots are nothing new, but this is a huge problem for the Academy as fan votes can be manipulated by a small majority. Thoughts, Rob?
Well, if there's one thing you should never underestimate, it's young people with their computers.
Mm-hmm.
And especially you should not underestimate Zack Snyder's fan base.
Fanatical.
And when you put computers and their fan bases together, especially Zack Snyder, you wind up with this. So first of all, I gotta give it up for them. This comes to us from Heroic Hollywood. For the cheer-worthy moment, Zack Snyder's Justice League won the online Twitter poll for when The Flash entered the Speed Force. His Netflix film, Army of the Dead, won the fan favorite film of 2021. Now, however, it appears both of these Oscar polls were rigged. According to a report from The Wrap, the majority of those who voted in the 2 Oscar categories were autonomous web programs. Reports from Tweetbinder, a hashtag analytics tracking tool, reveal that the most active contributors to both polls were made up of these programs that cast thousands of fake votes for Army of the Dead and Zack Snyder's Justice League. David Kirsch, a University of Maryland professor, agreed that the majority of the pro-Zack Snyder accounts didn't appear to be made by a human user.
Wow.
I mean, somebody could then, maybe make the joke that Zack Snyder's movies are not necessarily made by a human user as well. But I am not one of those people.
It was you, man. You
no.
Someone could say.
Look, I have to say that Army of the Dead was actually the first film I saw after the pandemic. It was the first movie I went to the theater to see. And I have to say, Zack Snyder did something. The original Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I couldn't believe that somebody would dare remake it. And I remember going in to see Dawn of the Dead, with a scowl on my face, even though James Gunn wrote it. I was so ready to hate that movie. I wanted to hate Zack Snyder. I wanted to hate Dawn of the Dead. And I was like, that's pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was good. And I thought what he did with 300, the way he really brought to life Frank Miller's graphic novel, I thought it was incredible. And while, yes, it's true, I never thought we would ever get a Snyder cut of Justice League. And I never thought it would happen. However, when HBO Max was created, I then changed my tune and said, now there's somebody to pay for it. And I was there for it, and I really liked Zack Snyder's Justice League. I bought the 4K disc in Europe before it was even available here. Ooh. And I am a Zack Snyder fan. I even liked Sucker Punch.
Oh,
can I say that? I know. Look, there's certain,
that's one of Logan's favorites.
There's certain joys to be had in that movie.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I get you.
I think there's a lot of really interesting visuals. I was not a fan of Army of the Dead, to be honest. I saw it. I thought it was a little all over the place. So I was not, I'm not some Zack Snyder acolyte that'll just love everything he's working on. However, I'm really excited about his new Netflix deal, and he's making his film Rebel Moon now.
Oh.
But now let me ask you
10 out of 10, baby.
I know, Rebel Moon. It's got to be your biggest
most
upcoming title.
anticipated film.
9 out of 10. He put Rebel in there. So it would have been 10 out of 10.
You want an
Just
obedient
Moon.
Well, let me ask you guys.
Rob gave us the big sigh. He's like, I'm trying to run a show here.
That's true.
Go ahead.
No. So let me ask you, does this surprise you, Ray, that people would use computers to manipulate voting for a Zack Snyder movie to get an award?
I kind of wish I thought about this topic more, because I would want to pull up a list of all the ones that were nominated for fan favorite. And then maybe, because I did like Zack Snyder's Justice League. So if there was nothing else on that list that I liked, I probably would have voted for it. So I'm not surprised. People use bots all the time, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, just to get like the clout or whatever. I watch YouTube videos about how this particular person used bots to get to where they are and this and that. And so like, I'm not surprised. But does it change anything? I wasn't going to vote in that fan vote, even though it was like the Oscar said, Oscars for you or something like that. The little headline was, the Oscar goes to you. And then the two categories. I wouldn't have voted anyway, so maybe the bots should have voted because no one else would have voted.
But here's the thing. I do think that there's something to be said that the fact that the Snyder Cut got made is kind of a triumph of fandom. There's a lot of people that kept it alive. The Snyder Cut fans did raise money for great causes such as suicide prevention. The fact that they made HBO Max take a look at them, the voice of the fans was heard, and HBO Max invested $70 million to finish the Snyder Cut. And I have to say, Flash entering the Speed Force is pretty dope.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty great superheroic moment. I do have my Ezra Miller hot toy, so recreating it in my Robservatory is always a fun thing to do. But now, let me ask you, Chris. Mm-hmm. Clearly, I would say that if people can manipulate these kinds of polls, they should do so, because it keeps people on their toes. This is how we figure out how things work and how things don't. In the cyber age, does this surprise you? Do you feel bad? Do you think that this shouldn't have happened? Because somebody had to have a coordinated idea that, let's use bots. Let's have a denial of service attack, and we're only going to make sure Army of the Dead wins the award.
It's wild Snyderverse collusion. I think this category's stupid. I think this is a dumb category to have. The nominees for this too, Ray, were Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Dune, Tick Tick Boom, Minamont, Spider-Man No Way Home, Cinderella from Amazon, and of course Army of Dead, or Army of the Dead.
Oh, I would have voted No Way Home for sure.
Right?
So now that's weird.
I mean, I'm not a fan of rigging any kind of voting situation. That being said, this already was a completely no stakes category for me. It was an internet poll. We put those up all the time.
Was the statue actually given to those two?
I think in the ceremony it was just like, and this is this person. I don't.
Yeah,
even
I think it was.
recall
I don't think they get a statue.
Yeah.
Oh well, then it's not a real.
Exactly.
Oscar. Yeah. So why?
It felt like such a notice me senpai moment from the Academy to young viewers.
Right, exactly. In a shameless act to make the Academy Awards more relevant to young people, which is weird because as a kid, I lived to watch the Oscars.
My mom would get me dollar store boas, and we would have a fake red carpet so that I could feel like a little famous actress, and we'd watch the red carpet, and we sat down and we'd, pick out who we thought were going to win. And that's something that I've carried over since then. You don't have to make it fun and exciting. It inherently is already exciting to people who love movies, at least in my opinion.
Out of curiosity, I just want to ask everyone, including you, Jonathan, did you guys like the Snyder Cut of Justice League?
I loved it.
I thought it was a good release, to be honest. And the worst part is I wanted to see part 2 because I wanted to see Darkseid fight the Justice League. It was like knowing that we wouldn't get that just made me so sad. So in a way, it was kind of like maybe I shouldn't have watched
A bittersweet victory.
Yeah.
For me, that was the only part I liked, though. Obviously, I thought it was better than what Joss Whedon gave us, but that was a low bar for me. So the whole film, it just felt long and unnecessary. And then the last 5 minutes are what I went, oh, that'd be a cool movie. I know that's not a popular opinion.
I thought it was operatic and mythic. You know, I enjoyed it. I mean, I as a DC fanboy from an early age, and the Justice League was my first favorite super team. To see them presented in a very Alex Rossian sort of a way with these the tableaus, the shots, you know, everything was. I mean, he clearly took so much inspiration from Alex Ross's work that I was so there for it. You know, watching, going, I love this. I thought it was great, but I mean, manipulating voting is never a good thing. But if the votes can be manipulated, shouldn't the people that set up those votes realize how they can get around the bots and figure out a way to up their security?
It happens all the time, not even in voting, it like purchasing like sneakers or collectibles that are limited. People use bots all the time. I'm pretty sure they threw this out there and then weren't aware of the consequences of creating something like an online fan vote. There should be more measures to prevent this, but someone will always find a way. Humans are smart. We're, you know,
and we're devious and sneaky.
Yeah, you know, you give the humans something, sometimes they turn it around on you. I don't know.
Well, it's true. I don't know if they'll ever do that again. And like you said, it was pretty dumb. But I do have to say that the Academy Awards, as a kid, I learned what disappointment really meant the Academy Awards that were in 1978 for the films from 1977, when Star Wars lost to Woody Allen's Annie Hall for Best Picture. It was part of my innocence died that day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's when it died?
Part of it.
Some of it in college.
That day.
Some of it probably in college.
If you did a prequel, that's where it would start. And then, yeah.
Yes. But I still love the Oscars. I still love the old school Hollywood of it all. You know, what's not to love? Well, what do you guys think? What do you think about Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead winning and the Speed Force scene from Zack Snyder's Justice League also winning? Do you think that manipulation was a bad thing? Go down in the comments, and I want to hear from you. Tell us your worst. Tell us your finest. Tell us whatever you want.
Get your bots to comment, too.
And I want to know, I want you to hashtag release the Snyder Cut, keep the Snyderverse, whatever your hashtags are. Put those down in the comments, too.
Okay.
Chris, what is topic number 4?
Topic number 4 comes from Mark Wallace. A couple of weeks ago, John, you coined the glorious term, the Axe of Zaslav, when news of the cancellation for the Wonder Twins movie, Batwoman, and Legends of Tomorrow came out. Well, the axe wasn't done swinging, as yesterday, 7 CW shows were canceled. Most notably to me was the Ava DuVernay created series Naomi after just 1 season. What are your thoughts on this latest development? I hope you guys had a great Friday and an even better weekend.
Yes, it's true. You know, even very famous TV producer Julie Plec, who I've been a fan of for a very long time, called yesterday the Red Wedding when it came to cancellations of TV shows, because it wasn't just David Zaslav, but it was a lot of shows lost their lives yesterday. But no, I don't think many, it wasn't like the CW. And it was a bloodbath over there. And boy, oh boy, if I was a TV showrunner, I would be crying into my oatmeal this morning because, man, yes.
That's all they eat.
This comes to us from the TV Insider had this to say. The network has canceled Charmed after 4 seasons, Dynasty after 5 seasons, In the Dark after its 4th season premiering on June 6th, Legacies after 4 seasons, marking an end to the Vampire Diaries franchise, Roswell, New Mexico, after 4 seasons, also premiering on June 6th. The 4400 reboot after its 1st season and Naomi after its first season. This news comes after DC's Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman were canceled after season 7 and 3, respectively, at the end of April. News of both cancellations came via executive producer statements on social media. The CW has yet to announce if DC's Stargirl, returning for a third season, will be renewed or canceled. Wow. That's a lot of people to lose their jobs in a day.
Yeah.
And, first of all, it's so hard to get a TV show off the ground. It's even harder to keep it flying. And when people lose their jobs like this, it's never great for the industry.
Nope.
But the acts of Zaslav, now, we don't know that David Zaslav is actually in his office with a giant Molly Hatchet death dealer Frank Frazetta
Right
axe.
there.
Boy, I hope
There's
so.
the evidence right there.
Or
That was a
or
surveillance
Jack
camera.
Nicholson's axe from The Shining. We don't know. It's more of a metaphoric term, I think. John was, and maybe perhaps David Zaslav didn't necessarily participate directly in all this, but I'd like to believe he does have an axe in his office, and he is swinging, and he is taking the heads off these TV shows, because I like that decisive action. That's what we expected from him. We expected him to come in. A lot of executives also left Warner Brothers, and he's making sweeping changes. And, Warner Brothers has needed decisive leadership at the top. He's a well-liked executive leader. He's a well-liked studio. He's now one of the biggest moguls in Hollywood with the Warner Brothers Discovery merger. And I think this is the kind of thing that was expected. This is something that he was always going to do. And I think for the most part, it's probably a good thing in the long run. I don't like that everybody lost their jobs. I don't like there's a lot of fans of these shows.
Yep.
But you know what? There wasn't enough fans of these shows, because if they were more popular and more successful, the axe of Zaslav would not have fallen. Ray?
Rob, when I was doing the actual graphics this morning and I was reading that list, other than the 4400,
Right, which is a
I didn't even know all these shows were on TV. Because
That's why they're getting canceled.
And I thought 4400 was on a different network too. So it's not. I had no idea CW was housing these shows. If I knew there was a new Charmed, I'm not gonna lie, I watched a couple of the Charmed seasons back in the day, and I would have checked it out, but I didn't even know it was on. So maybe Zaslav wants to make money. He doesn't want to lose money, and if this decision is to make money, then of course he's going to do it. So,
well, I think it's crazy how many of these shows were reboots. Charmed, the 4400, Roswell,
Dynasty.
Yeah,
My dad
Dynasty.
loved Dynasty.
And it goes to show you, some of these shows, 5 seasons is a respectable run.
Yeah.
Roswell, after 4 seasons, a respectable run. But why don't we see something new? What are they going to reboot 20 years from now? They're going to reboot a reboot of a reboot that wasn't that successful anyway?
Well, Legacies, too, is a spinoff.
Of the Vampire Diaries, right? And so how many of these shows, I think we need some new programming.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking programming.
If they go after Stargirl, that's probably the last show that I watched, other than the new Superman. What is
Superman
it
and
called?
Lois?
Superman and Lois, that I actually liked the first couple of episodes of. So
I love that show.
if Stargirl is gone, then I won't. I'll just.
What do
might
you
as well
think the
delete
over
channel.
or under is, Ray, on whether Stargirl is going to feel the axe of Zaslav?
I don't know. I just hope it doesn't, because I did like the episodes that I did see. So it's a good show to me. But like you said, if there's not enough people watching it, if there's more people watching this show than Stargirl, then of course they're going to axe it.
Chris, how do you feel? There's some great shows here.
Yeah.
A lot of great representation on these shows. They do have fervent fan bases, but now they're gone.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, the first thing for me is I have so many friends who work in the Atlanta market. So that is concerning of, oh my gosh, they are losing so many job opportunities for my friends who are day players, series guest stars and things like that. So that's upsetting. But I feel like the CW is facing a real identity issue, especially as we're getting rid of more and more of their DC properties, right? The only ones standing now are going to be Stargirl and Flash, I believe, which is coming to an end and should come to an end. So what is this network going to be now?
Well, it's going to be sold.
For sure it's going to be sold. But what
Sold
is
W.
the CW identity, though? We all kind of joke about, we even talked about with Aaron earlier this week, of it's a place where a lot of people have gotten their start, and we've learned later that they are fantastic actors with really, really great chops. But it, for a long time, has been, there's that pretty tween network, right? Where it's beautiful people.
The Pretty Tween Network.
And it's beautiful people with very intensely high stakes drama situations. What is this network going to be now without any of these shows?
I think it's going to be very different. I think the people that they're selling it to are going to turn it into something. Because in Hollywood, the joke has been the CW never made money,
Yeah.
ever. And rather than just, they should have just killed the whole network. I'm surprised that, I mean, that's why they're selling it
and
off.
Superman and Lois, excuse me, that's still on there.
That's still on.
They're selling it off? I didn't even
I
hear
believe
that.
they are.
Oh,
I think we
okay.
talked about
Just
that.
that
Yeah,
whole
we did talk
yeah.
about it.
Okay.
It's being sold.
Well, then these cuts have to make sense then if that's what's going on around, right? Or wait, they could have kept these shows, right? And whoever they sold it to could have kept the shows.
Oh, I don't think that they're going to keep a network
Oh,
that's not
okay.
making
Well,
money.
they did just pick up Gotham Knights too.
Yes, and I
that
thought
has-
that was odd.
That's very odd. And that has the potential to be an interesting show. Although we've talked about that too, of a Batman show without Batman. That's been one of the problems with these CW shows is you have a Batman issue of where's the Dark Knight? He just left all his babies to run Gotham? I don't know.
So apparently the Warner Brothers CBS, so CBS, Paramount, Viacom, the Warner Brothers CBS joint venture is being sold to Nexstar, which will likely turn it into a broadcast version of News Nation and milk it for carriage fees and political ads. Not much room for scripted shows there.
Ew.
By the way, I'm getting that. I'm totally reading that from Puck from Matthew Baloney's column. So I'm stealing that. I want to give him full credit. That's what I just read.
Man.
So, but yes, so there goes the CW.
Nexstar,
into
huh?
that good night.
Wow.
So there you go. That's where we're at.
R.I.P. CW.
I know it's kind of sad. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. All that work, but like you pointed out, the Atlanta network or the Atlanta marketplace, the Atlanta area has lost a lot of people are out of work. But I'm sure somebody will pick up that slack.
I hope so. Talented actors, talented crew coming out of Atlanta.
They are. Absolutely. Well, kids, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all of you are friends from around the world. What do you think? Are you sad? Are these shows your favorite shows? How are you going to get through life without having them to watch anymore? Write down there in the comments. Tell us what you think all about. Now, we are about to open Super Chats, and you can fire in these questions. We're going to leave them open until we run out of room.
Yay!
And before that, we're going to hear from our friends at Liquid IV.
We want to take a minute and thank the sponsors of this video, Liquid IV. Now listen, just one stick of Liquid IV added to 16 ounces of water will hydrate you faster and more efficiently than just water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, and of course vitamin C with 3 times the electrolytes as traditional sports drinks. And what makes Liquid IV so effective is the science of cellular transport technology, or CTT. You see, it's designed to enhance rapid absorption of water and other key ingredients into your bloodstream faster and more efficiently. You know, Ann and I get up pretty early in the morning to go to the gym because we can't go to the gym at any other time during the day. And for the last couple of weeks, I have been drinking 1 full glass of water with Liquid IV. And all I can tell you is you can feel the difference during the workout. So go and grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code CAMPEA at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use the promo code CAMPEA, that's CAMPEA, at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today when you go to liquidiv.com, and remember, use the promo code at checkout, CAMPEA.
Well, we have some breaking news that I wanted to mention. Actor Fred Ward has passed. Fred Ward was one of my favorite. He was mostly a character actor, but he starred in one of my favorite movies, The Right Stuff. He played Virgil Gus Grissom, one of America's first Mercury astronauts. He also starred in Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins, if you like that, with Joel Grey. He was in another great teen comedy that I love that not a lot of people remember, starring C. Thomas Howell, Kelly Preston, and Lori Loughlin, called Secret Admirer. And he was a favorite actor of mine. And I don't know if you guys remembered Fred Ward, but if you do, write down in the comments, tell me what you thought of him. You know, I always thought that Fred Ward would have made, he was diminutive in stature. I thought he would have made a great Wolverine. And I was thinking this way before Hugh Jackman was cast, because he had, if you look at him, you can imagine looking at his face that he could have been a great Wolverine. And I remember people talking about him back in the day. So rest in peace, Fred Ward, a favorite actor of mine.
I loved him in Joe Dirt and in Tremors.
Oh, he was great in Tremors.
Yeah.
So great in Tremors, which, by the way, fantastic 4K disc that came out last year, if you want to get it. So rest in peace, Fred Ward. And thanks to our friends at Liquid IV for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. Well, we're almost to the end of our super chats. Right, Jonathan? Are we good?
Yeah.
Why don't we jump in and find out, Chris, what do our viewers
the people wanna
have to
know?
say? What do they want to know? What if they insult me? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I hope they don't.
Lucky be. If they talk shit about you, Rob, I swear I will flip a table.
Hell, I'm going to talk shit about me soon. I'm terrified.
Bear with me, guys. It jumped up to the top here.
You know, I think we're doing pretty good right
Here we
now.
go.
We're doing all right?
I mean, it's not the same without John, but you know
Yeah.
what? We're okay.
Right now, we're just like kids. We're like
Yeah.
teenage boys where our dad left us $200 for pizza. That's how
I'm
we're
just getting
thriving
over
here.
my nervousness. I mean, I've done my own shows, but it's tough. I can't fill the shoes of the great John Campea.
You're doing great.
I cannot replace him. I can only succeed him. So we'll see. I got that, by the way. That's a Star Trek 6 line.
Oh,
I know.
course
See,
it
I had to
is.
mention Star Trek. I know. That's it. I promised John I wouldn't say anything, but I had to get
You know
that
what?
in. I had to get it in.
you know what? Okay.
all the super chats are going to be like, so Star Trek.
Yeah.
All right, we got some support from CMG2491 from Brian Whitney sending in $50. Brian, what do? You support
Brian.
us so much. We appreciate
God.
you. From Dante, hey Campea campers, well done today.
Oh, thank you.
So even though we didn't get Hugh Jackman in Doctor Strange 2, at least we got Huge Yakman. Oh,
Wait.
You know what? He's in the trailer, so
Yeah,
that's
he's
not
in
a
the trailer, so
spoiler.
we can talk
That's
about
not
that.
a spoiler. Huge Jack. That's funny.
that's cute.
I didn't get it.
I'll give a little golf clap for that.
There's an anthropomorphic cow or bull, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a nod to
Oh, nice.
Wanda's origin stories of being raised by that cow.
Yeah. Yes, it might have been.
Yeah.
But yes. So that I was going to say, did we just give out a spoiler? But we did not.
We
That was
didn't.
very
That's in the
clever.
trailer.
It's in the
A very
trailer.
clever thing
Yeah.
to say. Dante, very, very well done.
Very nice. Jay Bling, Minamata was a totally obscure Johnny Depp movie, and that movie got more votes for fan favorite than No Way Home. Depp fans are crazy too.
You know, that film that was delayed and we weren't going to get to see it, and I think that was done to be in support so we could get to see that film, based on a true story about a photographer who I guess exposed something to do with toxic waste in Japan.
Oh,
So I've never seen it, but I do want to see the film. I've heard it's quite
the
good.
premise sounds really interesting. Cool. Elizabeth Hirado. So I was watching The Tonight Show, and guess what commercial popped up? The AMC Nicole one.
Oh,
You're
yes.
kidding.
All I'm saying is, if they're advertising it on live TV, remove it in the, what's the bottom thing? In the theater. I agree.
That's good.
It's
That's where it
per-
belongs.
Its purpose was actually to run on live TV, and I think they've just been like milking it by running it in the theater. But its original purpose was to run it on TV.
It looks like it was made for it.
I mean, I don't think I would hate it as much.
No.
And let's face it, it's Nicole Kidman, so it's a redhead,
Yeah.
and I love it. But like John always points out, it makes you feel stupid. You're sitting in a
Yeah.
theater.
What if I'm real drunk in an AMC?
Yeah,
Oh,
and you
that's
know,
where I am.
I just feel like we
Shit.
I mean, you're insulting my intelligence. I'm in your theater.
You know, they
Come
did
here.
spend $26 million on that whole campaign, so they're just milking that thing to getting their money's worth.
It's true,
Yeah.
and I guess they are because we're talking about it
You
every
just-
single day.
I don't mind if they run it, but like run it right before trailers start.
Right.
Then you run your trailers, and then you get into the movie.
It's true.
Anyway,
All right, Chris, what's next?
From Ben Rayner sending in a $20 super chat. Thank you, Ben. With Alan going Fast 10, it's kind of a multiverse in this movie because you have 2 Aquamen. Jason and now Alan
Wow.
Jason, of
right.
course, in DCEU. And Alan was Aquaman in Smallville. So this is pretty dang cool and not at all fishy.
Okay, the over-under with 2 Aquaman, Ray, do you think they're going to make an Aquaman joke in the movie?
Who's directing this movie again? Sorry,
Louis Leterrier.
No.
Okay. What about you, Chris?
I feel like they might. Jason Momoa's going to make him on set.
Yeah, he will. I mean, I could. And by the way, I mean, you know.
Oh,
who's
we're
gonna
talking
be-
about Fast?
Yeah, Fast.
Oh, yeah, for sure they're gonna make an Aquaman joke.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what movie we were
There's
talking
going to be
about.
some done moment where they're like in a car, it's filling up with water, and they're going to be like, how long can you hold your breath for? And they'll both be like,
I could see that happening.
Oh.
All right. I'll buy off on that. All right, what's next?
James Germain sending in a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, James. So Fast and Furious is to be a race between 2 Aquamen. Exactly.
There we go. Exactly.
There we go. It started.
Who's faster? Who's faster? All right, Chris, what's next?
From Harv's K, another $20 super chat. Thanks, you guys. Now that Dad is out, Rob, check out the Blu-ray of restored, hard-to-find Cinerama film Wonderful World of Brothers Grimm from WB Archives. Chris, check out Spy and Family anime, so fun. Ray, watch Moon with Sam Rockwell. All right.
First of all, come on, man. Wonderful World of the Brothers Grimm from Warner Archive. What do you think the odds are that I happen to have that Blu-ray?
1,000%.
Thank you.
I love Brothers Grimm.
And have you seen Moon?
Yes, I have, and I really liked it.
It's really
It's
good.
a real crazy mind thing going on there. So, yeah, not enough moon for me. Like,
They're on the moon the whole time.
but I know it's the moon, so at least I get.
You know what's great about that is they used the model department at Pinewood Studios that because of CG, they don't really use models anymore, but the visual effects were done with miniatures and they're absolutely beautiful.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
It's great. It's great. What's next, Chris?
From Itzanti, WMD is dumping shows and will cancel their agreement with CBS and drop CW. Both CBS and WBD have separate streaming networks that they want to push in Paramount Plus and HBO Max, respectively.
Yes, I mean the CW as we read about, they're on the chopping block. They're gone. They're not long for the world. But that is the way of things in the great streaming wars. There are a lot of casualties. So you're probably exactly right, Azanti.
Speaking of Paramount Plus, I gotta say that last Halo episode, at least the back end of it, was pretty awesome. The fight was pretty cool. I mean, and it's just setting up that finale. I don't know if anyone else has been keeping up with it, but I'm digging like the hype I'm feeling for this finale. Hopefully
So there's only one more episode left?
Yeah, one more episode, 9 episodes. So
9 episodes. All right. Well, if you're happy, I'm happy. Because, Paramount Plus should have a good science fiction show on it.
right.
Burn.
Oh my
He did.
God!
I didn't say anything. I didn't say a word. Chris, what's next?
Elizabeth Arado again. The Axe of Zaslav missed Riverdale.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Literally, the cast wants out so bad, and the show is horrible. Yeah, does anyone want to be on that show still? Like, it feels like the writers, from everything Andy tells us, bless you, Andy, for continuing to watch it. It sounds like they're like, how can we make it so they have to cancel us?
I have no idea. I live vicariously through listening to you and John and marvel at like John when he walks in and sees Anne watching it, and then what you tell me.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know why. How does that exist?
It's people are just real horny for Archie still. I don't know, man.
I mean, Veronica, I can understand.
She's a babe.
Yeah.
But
NYU Tish actress too. She's incredible.
Oh, I meant the comic book character.
Oh, I was gonna.
before we continue, I just want to say the views on this panel don't necessarily. We should have like one of those like disclaimers.
These do not necessarily reflect the views of John Campea.
Yes, that's what we should say. Don't blame John for us.
For our hot takes, saying brave things like Riverdale's not good.
Chris, what's next?
Jay Bling, R.I.P. Fred Ward of Tremors, and Remo Williams.
Yeah, I mean he was a great performer. He was electrifying. He was so much fun to watch. And you know what? I mean, I've got that beautiful Arrow box set of Tremors. Maybe I'll go home and watch it tonight.
Aw.
But I'd rather actually having just set up new speakers and stuff in the Raw Observatory. I think I have to watch The Right Stuff. If you guys haven't seen The Right Stuff, it's 3 hours and 15 minutes, Ray. It is 3 hours and 15 minutes of some of the greatest filmmaking you will ever see, directed by Philip Kaufman. It's about the dawn of the American space program.
Oh,
Going to the
You went
moon.
from no to yes.
Going to the moon. See, look at that. Look at that. That's exactly right. And if you really want to have a great day, here's what you do. You get up at 5 a.m., you make yourself some breakfast.
That's
you
a great
watch,
day.
You
That's
watch,
not a great day
you watch
already.
The Right Stuff for 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 15 minutes. Then you watch From the Earth to the Moon, the Tom Hanks produced miniseries. You watch episodes 1 to 8, and then you watch Apollo 13.
Oh, Apollo 13. Yeah.
And then you
love
watch,
that you think Ray's going to stay awake
and
for
then
all
you
this
watch
content.
the rest of the episodes.
Wait.
I'm telling you.
I'm interested in this Tom Hanks thing. Is that a documentary?
It is a dramatization. It's a mini series. You would if you've never seen this, it's one of the greatest things they've ever put on TV. It was an HBO miniseries called From the Earth to the Moon. Tom Hanks hosts it, and he was a producer.
Oh,
on
that
it.
sounds cool.
And it's
already.
about the entire Apollo program.
Wait.
great.
So it's on HBO Max? You think?
I don't know if it's on HBO Max.
It'll probably
That's
be
a
on
good
HBO
question. I mean,
Max.
it was produced by them. They recently re-released a very disappointing high-definition upgrade to the series, which they didn't do it the right way, which I won't get into now. But it's a great show. And episode 5, Spider, which is about how Grauman made the lunar excursion module, is one of the greatest hours of TV you'll ever see. It's fantastic. You would love it.
The stuff
check it
that
out.
Hanks produces is so good. I know I'm not a big like war military person for movies and stuff. Band of Brothers, that miniseries still just gives me chills.
Well, and you know they're doing a third one. They're doing a third one right now. They did Band of Brothers, then they did the Pacific. Now they're doing, and I forget the name of it, they're doing one about the Air War, about the Air Force.
Okay.
You know what I remember most about Band of Brothers is because at the time I was doing the DVD area in Best Buy, like the 10 cases that they
doing
were.
it? What does that mean?
I
You were
mean, like
doing
I was
the
like
area.
stocking the area.
Oh, you
Yeah.
were working
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the 10 cans for the Band of Brothers DVD collections.
That
or
was
whatever.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I love that. I had that, the DVD.
Of course you do. I wasn't even going to ask you.
I don't know.
I
know
actually have
you
that too, and I have the Blu-ray copy of the hard copy of it. I love Band of Brothers.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
it's
did too,
great.
Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Band of Brothers is great. All right, Chris, now that we're completely I don't even remember what the last topic was.
So off topic.
Chris, what is the next topic?
This is from Chuck the Mystery. Rob, you're doing a great job today. Talking about Coppola, I loved The Conversation, which released the same year as Godfather 2. Hackman is fantastic.
Chuck the Mystery, you are correct. The Conversation is one of the great paranoid thrillers of the 70s. I would say if you want to have a great 70s paranoid double feature, watch The Conversation and Warren Beatty in The Parallax View, which both of them are available on Blu-ray. Criterion released The Parallax View. The Conversation is terrific, an incredible Gene Hackman performance. And interestingly enough, the Tony Scott movie, Enemy of the State, which teams up Will Smith and Gene Hackman is basically playing Harry Call again, unofficially, his character from The Conversation. So you could watch The Conversation in The Parallax View and then watch Enemy of the State for a great triple feature.
Ooh.
I guess you could also add like Blowout, right, with John Travolta.
Blowout's another great movie. Brian De Palma directed that, I think 1980. Blowout's
81, I think.
81. You might be right. 81. That is a great film. I love Blowout. Well, Chris,
No, we're just going to end it on that. I love Blowout.
Blowout.
That's it.
Andy, one of two. The CW canceled 6 shows before they surprisingly canceled Legacies. A few hours after, I thought Legacies was the worst show, before Riverdale got even stupidly worse. At first, but the show found its footing in later seasons. I agree, Andy. This doesn't just end the show, but the Vampire Diaries franchise. Yeah, Legacies knows that it's goofy and embraces that. Same way in like Legends of Tomorrow was just like, you know what? Let's just like infuse this with Booster Gold energy and take the show for what it is. And Legacies plays with genre. It plays with like teen drama tropes. It makes fun of a lot of the past decisions of the CW. It really, really is very self-aware.
do
That's
you
kind of
think, though, this is really the end of the Vampire Diaries franchise?
No, vampires always come back.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, you can't really ever get rid of them, right? They're
No,
always
they're
everywhere.
always there. You invite them in once, and then you're screwed.
Too valuable. What do you think, Jonathan? Are they going to end the Vampire Diaries franchise, or are we going to get another Vampire Diaries
I think there's always iterations down the road. We're never going to be free of vampires and zombies. Where are the
probably a good thing.
werewolves? So
There's only
that's
one-
coming next.
There's only one vampire that we care about. That's Blade.
Is that the only one? But yeah, I can't. Blade is technically not.
Well,
just a vampire.
you know,
Daywalker.
I had the segue there, and then it was just didn't work. I thought about it. I was like, he's not really a vampire. Are you gonna go through with this? And I did, and it came out to be worse than I thought it would
I
be.
love the whole dialogue that you're having internally.
Yeah,
It makes
so-
me so happy.
I mean,
But you know what? You gave it a shot. You could have shied away from it and slunk away, but you didn't. You went for it,
Embraced it.
which is good. All right, Chris, what's next?
From Doctor Strange. Rob, do you think Jason Sudeikis is a good fit for Reed Richards in 616?
Look, I like Jason Sudeikis, and Ted Lasso.
Love Ted Lasso.
I mean, he's great. I don't like him for Reed Richards. I don't, because he seems. I don't know if he has the gravitas. To me, Reed Richards, like, you know who would have been a great. I'll say this one more time. Anson Mount, who plays Captain Pike on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Great. Also, I can't say what else he's in, but he's also, if you look in your multiplex, you might be able to find him somewhere
Yeah.
in the multiplex. But you need somebody with that kind of gravitas. I don't know if Jason Sudeikis, and even though Reed Richards is professorial, he still looks like a superhero.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis doesn't remind me of a superhero. I don't know. Maybe he could have a superheroic quality.
That's fair. But I mean, we felt the same way about Chris Pratt when it was the Parks and Rec guy is going to be Star-Lord,
You know
which
what?
is a goofier character.
That
but
is a good point.
It just takes a good fitness trainer.
Exactly.
I mean, look at cast of Eternals. I mean, half of them.
Yeah.
would be
True.
like,
No, you're
really?
right.
Okay.
Camille?
I mean, Camille, he looked incredible.
Yeah.
But you're right. But I still don't know if Jason Sudeikis could pull off. I mean, the thing about Reed Richards is he has a wisdom beyond the ages. He's not just smart.
Ooh, yeah.
And I would need that quality.
Well, and what works for Ted Lasso is that it seems like it's going to be folksy wisdom.
Right.
And you
That's-
have your expectations subverted of, I have a preconceived notion that I love dealing with of Southerners do not sound intelligent. And so when he drops exquisite knowledge and, quotes prolific poets and things, you're taken aback because you're not supposed to have that kind of brain power.
That is right. That's correct. Well, Chris, with that kind of insight, we need
thanks.
to know what's next.
What's next is from James Argenta. I think SNL, Superman and Lois, and Stargirl will move to HBO Max. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, aren't they already on HBO Max?
I think you have access to them on there, right?
I
All
think
the DC
so.
properties?
I would imagine because, I think Superman and Lois, to be honest, that was a show that I was like, I didn't have much faith in it. It's really good.
That first episode, when you have that iconic Superman with the green car moment, it's so beautiful. And then just the cute, folksy moment of, I really like your suit. Thanks, my mom made it for me.
Yeah.
He's such a good Clark and he's such a good Superman.
Absolutely. And, I worked on Superman Returns, and I think that Superman and Lois got to where Superman Returns wanted to get to.
Yes.
And the idea of Superman being a father of two teenage sons. I mean, the one thing Superman's superpowers can't help him do is be a dad. It doesn't matter how strong you are. You have to have a heart. You have to have a soul to be a father. And I love that whole how he comes to grips with that. And I like his kids. I like the relationship he has with Lois. The thing that makes that show work is it's not just a Superman show. It's a really good family drama.
Absolutely.
And that is, I thought that was a pretty genius way to go. So that's why I think it'll survive.
I chuckled right now when Chris turned to me and she's like, "Aren't those on HBO Max?" I was like, I would have to go into John's house and check because I don't have HBO Max.
You have HBO Campea?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't share his access codes with you.
I'll just walk up in the house and just start watching. It's fine. I mean, family, baby. No, other than Paramount Plus, don't ask me about what's on any other streaming service, or else I would have to stop by the Campea house, check it, come back here, give you your answer.
Well, I'd be curious. I mean, I want to know everything that every subscription that the Campea House subscribes to, because maybe there's things that I need to just hang out and watch that I don't yet subscribe to, because
Damn, there's so much television now.
that'd be helpful. All right, Chris, What's next?
MP, I ordered 2 flavors of Zevia. We're not allowed to say.
Oh,
Yeah, we
Is it
can't.
Zevia or
Did you?
Zevia?
I have to say Zevia,
Zevia?
Oh, we
Okay.
can't say.
yeah, we can't.
Those cheap sons of bitches.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah. Even though the man who sits in this chair got me addicted. He's a pusher.
When I
Oh,
was
Pusher
John's
Man.
assistant, I had to buy so much of that stuff. So goddamn always. I was very concerned about him. I'm just like, how are your teeth okay?
It's a
Do you
plant.
drink water?
It's a plant-based sweetener they use. In
Oh,
that.
that's nice.
Yeah. So there's no sugar in it.
Well, sugar is plant based.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I guess sugar is plant-based.
Rob looked like his mind was just.
But it's got no calories.
Everything
Wait,
changed
Oh,
in
wait,
Rob's.
zero
Zero calories. It's like 0 calories. So yes, sugar is plant.
The bill always comes due.
Don't I feel stupid?
Well, Rob.
When I say plant-based, I'm thinking like Knives Over Forks, that documentary when you're eating a
yeah.
plant-based diet. I don't think about the fact that sugar
great
cane is
doc.
That's
plant.
true. But to be fair, I mean, most refined sugar is bleached and all that. There's chemicals
Yeah,
involved.
yeah.
It's processed.
true.
So I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too much brains in here, man. I don't belong in here.
Yes, you do.
When you start talking like that, I'm like, moon. What are we doing today?
It's okay. You can hang with us anytime.
All right.
Chris, what's next?
Irene Jobson, positive vibes to John and his family. We love you, man. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Well, that's
That's sweet.
that is
Yeah.
That's
sweet.
real nice.
I appreciate that.
What else do we have? Kaden, come on, Rob. Tell us what happened at lunch.
No.
Wait, what
Happened at
happened at lunch?
lunch.
What happened? That was like from weeks ago.
But what
Like,
happened?
What happened at
What happened
lunch?
at lunch?
I was gonna say.
Do we need to,
something.
do we need to put up a disclaimer right now?
No. We were just having a conversation about certain things that we'd heard and stuff, and I think John thought I was going to say something.
Oh,
in Vegas.
oh, that
Yes,
thing.
Yeah.
but the thing is now people think nothing happened.
No,
We
there-
just had insider information that is very personal.
Yes, personal.
Yeah.
That I wasn't. That's not
And
what
that's
I
not
was
what you were
going
gonna
to
say.
share.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It was just
yeah.
a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And we couldn't really go over it. Like,
Yeah. Internet,
Yeah.
I love you, but y'all think so much nefarious stuff is happening.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much backbiting. We're such chatty Cathys
my
at lunch,
gosh.
and all we do is gossip. I mean, we're
Yeah.
one step away from being on page 6 of whatever
Basically.
magazine. No, we're the Campea crew truly loves one another.
Yeah.
And when we do go to lunch, we usually go someplace good, and hopefully maybe John will pick up the tab.
Yeah.
But you
So
know what?
nice.
When John we go to lunch with John, I don't get a beer. I'll admit that. That's the nefarious thing that happens.
Yeah.
I won't have alcohol unless I know we're not going to the office.
I was gonna say, but if it's me and you, then
Yeah, we'll drink.
Then we drink.
Yeah. If we're waiting to see a movie, it's like, hey,
Then
let's
we're like,
buy some drinks.
I know. Every time we meet you guys up, it's like, where are they? Are they meeting us at the theater? No,
No,
they're at the
we're at the
bar.
bar.
And then we walk in and just see both of your guys' backs.
Me-
And we're like, already at it again.
Already at it again.
We're on brand. We
yeah,
know
that's
what we're
because you
about.
drank all the aviation gin.
I think I drank so much that weekend that I'm good for the rest of the year.
Oh wow.
I'm really a lightweight. Like, if you know the story that I got drunk off a Chipotle margarita, the small.
Aren't those non-alcoholic?
No, they are. No, they are alcoholic, just not a lot. But man, I ordered a couple burritos after that. I already had one burrito in front of me, but I said maybe I want a steak one too, and I was just collecting burritos the rest of the day.
I love that. When the cat's away, these are the kind of conversations we can have during
Yeah.
the super chats. Chris, what is next?
All right, from Raphael. R.I.P. Fred Ward, Henry and June, The Right Stuff, and Tremors are my faves of his performances.
Yeah, Henry and June, another film. That was, by the way, an NC-17 movie. That was also directed by Philip
Checking
Kaufman.
it out, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard Fred Ward, I didn't know who that was, and then Chris pulled up a picture, and I was like, I know exactly who that is.
Yeah.
His face is one of those ones where you never know the actor's name, but you see them everywhere.
One of those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, and but he was always his sensibility. He was always kind of gruff, and
Yeah.
he was a great actor.
Oh, he had just like I think it was like a 2-episode arc on Grey's Anatomy playing Denny Duquesne's father, and it was just like so good. It was so what an incredible performer, man.
He will be missed, but he had a good life and a good career. And check out a Fred Ward movie this weekend and tell us what it is in the comments. What's next? What is next, Chris? I can't speak.
From Sin Vendetta. With X-Men 97 coming out in 2023, any chance of rewatching the X-Men, the animated series? It's the show that got me into Marvel and X-Men and where my favorite hero of all time came from, Gambit.
It's true.
This series.
Yes, I love that series. I
What's
thought it was
X-Men
great.
97?
It's the continuation of X-Men 92.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine they're going to have the same music.
It's
it's like a direct continuation.
Yeah, it's a direct continuation.
with that sweet 90s animation style.
You know what was funny? Me and my roommate Ryan were watching they were playing Office reruns yesterday on Comedy Central, and I remember telling him, I was like, man, I wish there was a channel that like replayed just like all the X-Men animated series. So yeah, of course I'm gonna rewatch the X.
Campea, you got to watch it on Campea Plus.
Oh yeah,
Campea Plus, that's where you go.
Did Gambit come from the animated series? I thought Gambit was introduced in X-Men 266.
Yeah, he did have that introduction in the comics.
Yeah, he was introduced in the comics
Right.
first. Yeah,
Yeah.
not like Harley Quinn,
Exactly.
who was introduced on the
by
animated
Paul Dini.
series. So it went back the other way.
But Gambit and Rogue, that was where I was like, oh, this.
yeah, because they're
this dynamic.
southern, from the Cajun, the
I
raging
love that
Cajun.
version of Rogue, who's just like, I don't care that my powers can drain people's life force. I'm cute and southern.
Man, the introduction of Rogue happened in Avengers Annual 10.
Mm-hmm.
That was drawn by Michael Golden and written by Chris Claremont. And she stole Carol Danvers stole her powers, threw off a bridge into the water.
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
Marvel loves throwing people off bridges.
Avengers Annual 10 is one of my favorite superhero comics.
I have to read that one. I'm not familiar
Anyway, what's next?
bye bye.
with it. Chef Rigo, come for lunch, guys.
Chef
Aw,
Rigo.
thanks,
Well,
Chef.
wait. My chopsticks are there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to illuminate them and bring. But you know what? I'm not gonna bring those chopsticks and use them.
I
You should.
I kind of don't want to use them for food. I want to use them to like put my hair in a bun for Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
cute.
yeah.
That'd be cute.
Yeah, that'd be super
you totally
cute.
should.
I'm like, I can't eat like sushi and then like put that in my hair.
No,
Then
'cause
Logan's
then
hair
you
should be
smell
in a
like
bun
fish.
too.
Logan's hair should be in a bun. It often
Yeah,
is.
both of you guys should
Yeah.
bun it out.
We should.
Bun it out. Okay.
All right, Chef Rigo. By the way, thank you again for these wonderful gifts.
They're so cool. And I would totally come for lunch if I didn't have coaching right after this.
And I would totally come for lunch, but John's not.
John's
here.
not here to pay for it.
All right.
That's the real truth, baby.
All right. What's next?
From Andy, why the fuck are these CW shows getting axed and not Riverdale? It's because those other shows don't know the epic highs and lows of high school football.
Well, that could very well be. Having not seen an episode of Riverdale and only heard about it, I think the reason they keep it on is because it's so insane that they want to keep the water cooler conversation about how
guess
insane the show
so.
is.
And maybe it's like a combination of all the CW shows put together, so they could do whatever they want with it if they want to change the theme.
That's true.
The
They
characters.
keep doing that.
Yeah,
they're
so-
like, they're all superheroes now.
Yeah, it's like, what do we feel like this week? Let's do it. Riverdale.
I don't know. Or maybe somebody just has some dirt on someone else. Maybe maybe somebody bribed somebody to, Riverdale
dark
started
side.
as a legitimate, hey, we're going to update the Archie characters.
Yeah.
And then as it went along, somebody's got some dossiers on somebody about terrible,
Got
nefarious
wildly
behavior.
off the tracks.
Otherwise, how do you explain all that? I don't know.
It hurts my brain. It hurts my heart.
Well, Chris,
Addison. Hey guys, was wondering if you guys ever watched Netflix's Shira and the Princess of Power. Of course we did. It's one of the best animated shows I've ever seen. Yes, Addison. Ray, what do you think about this show?
I never said yes like that before. That was only you. I like the show. I actually like it. Yeah. Like the animation's completely different from the old Shira cartoons, but I welcome any changes as long as you keep me interested. Then yeah, it's a good show.
It's great storytelling. They do really, really fun stuff with it. Katra and Adora's relationship is really, really interesting. Scorpia, oh my gosh, she's just a cinnamon bun. I love her.
There's a big controversy. Like, did you guys see the new He-Man, the Kevin Smith He-Man?
Yes,
I
season
did.
1.
I actually liked it, but there's like, changes are like hard to accept for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, with everything, you know what I mean? But you know what? I accepted it for what it is. I just wanted to hear your guys' opinion.
you know what
that.
you really should watch on Netflix? Dota,
Yes.
Dragon's Blood.
What's that?
It's a show I worked on.
Oh, I'll never watch that.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow,
maybe,
you guys are a tough.
maybe
crowd.
No,
someone got me a
I do-
voiceover job on their animated series.
I do want to see Our Father.
Our next one.
Our Father. I'm going to check that out this weekend.
All right.
As horrible as the story that is. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. The bots.
Oh no.
Oh, no, my password. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Look, because they'll say my
Okay,
password.
there
There
you
we
go.
go.
All right, you'll see your password. Chris, what's next?
All right, from Igar Garcia. Sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. New nickname for Rob, the Sultan of Superfluousness.
What?
There's nothing superfluous about
I am
Rob.
not superfluous. I am dropping the knowledge.
This is very true.
The knowledge whenever I can. Although, okay, I'm a little superfluous. Let's be
You
fair.
wax poetic, but
But I sometimes go off on tangents, especially when I'm hosting the show.
that's fair.
It's true. So I'll take it. The Sultan of Superfluousness.
Nice.
I couldn't come up with something better, something more direct, something that's not. I like being a sultan, though. Does that
Yeah,
mean I have a
there you go.
harem?
Probably.
It's pretty good. Then I'll be as superfluous as you want me to be. Okay, Chris, what is next?
From Mr. Holdbrook, Rob, Iron Eagle or Top Gun?
Dude, there's only, I know you're going to throw Louis Gossett Jr. at me. Top Gun is way cooler than Iron Eagle. Way cooler than Iron Eagle. Has better music. Jason Gedrick, Tom Cruise. Jason Gedrick, Tom Cruise. What would you pick? And by the way, here's another thing about Iron Eagle. As somebody who built models of a lot of the aircraft in both movies, Iron Eagle would really bother me when they couldn't get, sometimes the planes would have missiles on them, and sometimes they wouldn't, from shot to shot. It made my teeth ache. But I do want to say that I went to an advanced screening of Iron Eagle. I had press screening tickets. What was that, like 87? 86, 87? It was around the same time because I saw Iron Eagle one week and The Hitcher the next. Iron Eagle was not as good of a week as The Hitcher's week was. So what do you guys think? Do you have a choice?
Can you appreciate that they were using the missiles? You just didn't see them. They were just off-screen wars, like crazy wars, too big for the budget.
But then the missiles would come back.
Yeah, then the
That's
missiles would come back.
Oh,
They would be gone. And I couldn't. I would drive me crazy.
oh, okay.
Plus, you know what? I have to tell you too. In Top Gun, they had the F-14, which I love the F-14 because I had a monogram 148 scale kit of it, and the wings moved on that. I just love that. I love that so much.
Hey, quickly, just speaking about jets, and if this is a spoiler, we'll just not. But with the new Top Gun, they're in F-18s, and those aren't like the most modern jets. Is there a reason for that?
That's an interesting question, and that's not a spoiler because you know that it's in the you know that it's in the
Trailers,
in the trailers. I think the reason that they're using F-18s is because there's a specific mission
Okay.
in the film.
So there's a point to it. That's all. I
yeah,
need to
there's
know.
and that's why they're using those particular jets.
All right.
So there you go. That's what I would say. Now, what about you two? Top Gun or Iron Eagle?
I don't know what Iron Eagle
Yeah,
is.
well, okay, put it this way. Iron Eagle played so much on regular television that it became like at the level of Top Gun. But if I really look at it, probably Top Gun is better.
I will say this. Iron Eagle had sequels. They didn't have to wait 36 years to have a sequel. They had like 3 sequels and female bodybuilder, I think her name was Rachel McLish, ended up starring in like Iron Eagle 3. If memory serves, I don't know, I'm being superfluous, but you never know. So that, from that perspective, you could say Iron Eagle has it over Top Gun because it took Top Gun 36 years to get a sequel. So Iron Eagle had 3, and it had Oscar winner Louis Gossett in it too.
Yeah, I
It's
love it.
amazing.
All right, Chris, what's next?
From Al Renshaw. I love me some Real Steel. Jackman and Lily were great in that movie. Think we'll ever see a sequel. We're seeing a television show, aren't we?
Yeah, there is some Real Steel sequel being
Yeah.
done. I don't know if Hugh Jackman's going to be in it, but I liked Real Steel. Did you?
I love that movie.
It's fun.
It's got
love
boxing
that.
and robots.
Yeah.
which I have to love.
We did the red carpet, and that I think it was my first CinemaCon. That's when I met Sugar Ray Leonard and Hugh Jackman. They were doing both of them really nice guys, but Hugh Jackman, what a dude, man. Like after that interview, he's like my favorite guy in Hollywood. Like he was so nice, and like we only had a couple. They give you what? Well, when you work further down the line, the less the less popular media, we were like at the back end, you only get so much time to talk to them.
Right.
But he stayed there and made sure, like, even though they were telling him to move on, he was just like so hyped. He was like, talking about his training because I wanted to know about the boxing stuff. He was such a nice guy. I love him. I don't care what he's doing or whatever movie he's in. I'll always go see it just because it's him.
He's great.
love
Look,
him.
I wouldn't have seen the only reason that I own the Steelbook, that I own the Steelbook of The Greatest Showman is because John waxed Rhapsodic. We were going to We were going to get Film Tools. Is it Film Tools, Jonathan, where they have the
Film
slider?
Tools?
Yeah, Phil
Burbank.
Tools.
I remember driving there, and John's like, "You got to listen to this song," and he starts playing me the soundtrack to The Greatest Showman. Like, I didn't have any interest, and when I was going through Best Buy once, there was one lonely Greatest Showman Blu-ray Steelbook, and I love Hugh Jackman. I worked on the X-Men special features, and I bought it.
Oh, blindly? You bought it blindly
I bought it
without
blindly
seeing?
just because John was a fan of the movie and he was playing that song, which I liked, in his car. And I bought it, took it home, and Elizabeth and I watched it. I loved it. I love The Greatest Showman.
I've only done that once, buying something blindly without knowing or seeing if it was any good. It was the MTV Spider-Man series. Do you remember that one?
Yep.
With
Neil Patrick Harris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that show. I don't know why a lot of people, I really liked it. So
That's good. Blind buys are good.
Yeah.
Chris, what's next?
We are now going to hear from Joel Rolston, who sends in a $20 super chat. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you.
As intrigued as I am about Coppola creating a passion project like Megalopolis, I'm concerned. This is a filmmaker who had his ups and downs after The Godfather. Selling his winery for this sounds ludicrous. Is he okay?
Joel, he's an artist, you know. And by the way, Coppola, this goes all the way back to the beginnings of his career. He was always putting his own money into projects like his company, American Zoetrope. You know, this is not something unique for him. I actually saw him speaking about this. He was being interviewed. And like no one in Hollywood today, no one would give him this money to make the movie, even though he's made Godfather 1 and 2 and Apocalypse Now and The Conversation. He just couldn't get this movie financed. And I think, you know, when you're in your 80s and you are quite wealthy, finally, in his life, why not bet on yourself? You know, you can't take it with you. He's got a very successful family. Selling his winery probably made them. They're probably all taken care of. So, if not betting on yourself at this point in your life, who should you bet on?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Well, I would, you know, if this is his last project, I'm going to see it. You know what I mean? His big thing, especially if it's something he's been working on since 1980s. There's a lot of curiosity that's coming out, like from me, about how he's going to go about it. How will it look? I mean, I'm going to see it no matter what, just because I know that he sold the whole winery just to make this film. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, and you know, he made his last couple of movies like Youth Without Youth and Tetro, and they weren't the greatest movies in the world. But you know, like you go back and you watch something like The Rainmaker. I really like that movie as a studio John Grisham adaptation. I think it's pretty good, and I think that we could probably get. Look, this is a passion project. I'll watch any artist's passion project, a filmmaker that finally gets to make their passion project. Usually, even if it's not entirely successful, it's a lot more interesting than most movies.
okay, here's a question: what's the worst passion project that you've seen? I don't know if you've seen one where someone said, "Yeah, this is my passion project," and you went to go see it, and you're like, "You should have had another passion. Should have been a different passion."
That's actually a really good question. I mean, I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. Chris, do you have one?
The Room.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't the room a passion?
Oh, it is The
project?
Room. I can't believe that was a passion.
Or The Spirit.
Oh yeah,
Spirit was
the Spirit.
I
That
might be
Frank
the only
Miller
person that was
yeah.
actually entertained by The Spirit in theaters. I'm sure if I watched it again, I was like, I don't know what I was thinking, but in the moment, I was like, this is ridiculous and stupid, but I'm having fun. I don't know.
I just, you know, Samuel L. Jackson dressed as a Nazi dentist couldn't even change the tide for me. I was like, what is this? I love this comic so much.
And I don't even want to ask Rob what his passion project is, because you know what it'll involve.
No, that's not true. I
just?
No.
Okay.
I have a passion project. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm working on it.
Okay, good.
I have a script for it.
Awesome.
It's something I've wanted to make for a very long time. It's a little wacky. I even have a bunch of storyboards for it, and I've had the actors who I want to play the parts drawn into the storyboards.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this. That's kind of exciting.
It's very exciting.
So, working on that, but I don't want anyone to know.
Yeah. Completely understand.
Got to keep it secret. Got to keep it safe. But it's based on a novel
Okay. And it's not about
that I didn't write. All right, Chris, what's next?
From Sam Fisher,
gonna
I
tell
hope
us.
Mama Campea feels better because she showed John Star Wars. She's to blame for all of this. If you can't tell, blaming her is a joke. Yeah.
Yes, we all hope that.
Yeah, we hope she gets better.
You know, I gotta say, Sue, I don't know if she's, you know, I love her to death. I mean, the minute I met her, she was welcoming. When I was in Canada, I was getting homesick. My dad had just passed away. So I was trying to get that out of my mind. She was always there. So like, my best wishes and prayers. She's like completely been on my mind since this happened. So hopefully she can pull through. We'll see.
Absolutely, and I'm terrified she's judging me. Because
she watches every day.
I know, and I'm like,
and then I was
hope
like,
you pull through. Everything is fine, because I really want to hear your judgment.
Yeah.
So
okay.
What's next?
From Ron Frazier, #Axlav. He ain't playing.
That's pretty funny.
Axlav? Axlav?
Axlav.
There we go.
He ain't playing. No, he's not. He's man, that guy is ruthless. And even if he isn't to blame for all this, I want to think that he is to blame.
I know.
I want to make David Zaslav and the acts of Zaslav. If you can get on the good side of the acts of Zaslav, that would be a good place to be in the business.
But like, this is my headcanon.
Absolutely.
That is
Yeah.
1,000% the headcanon.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And you know that he was actually taking people's necks off with that CW.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Did you make that, Ray?
Yeah,
That is a
of course.
fantastic. I quite
So
enjoy.
good.
I quite enjoy that.
That's his corporate picture.
That's his headshot.
That's exactly, well, it should be.
I love it.
And by the way, he's got a suit on without a tie, which means he's that
I
much
know,
more
I kinda-
dangerous.
He's cool.
No, that's even cooler.
I kind of messed up. I forgot the splatter on him. But you know what? We only
he
have so
doesn't
much
get
time.
splatter on him.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's his
Clean.
power, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gets splatter on other people, never him.
Yeah.
Never
You
him.
act away from yourself.
That's right.
It's a rookie mistake.
You
to
guys
bring it
know
towards
too
you.
much.
Alright.
All right, Chris, what's next?
So from Izante, sending in a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. John, what do you think about Star Trek Strange New Worlds? Rob,
I'm going to abstain from this question. I do not want. I'm going to get. John would be texting me. I don't want him to blow up my phone right now.
That's true.
I will say this: there has been 2 episodes of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
That have been released for
Two.
for
Yeah.
general public. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on a long dissertation about certain things, which I won't. But I will say this: there is more to like in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, as far as Star Trek is concerned, than I have seen in the franchise since 2009.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay, that's great.
Have you guys seen it yet?
Yeah, I like the first episode.
I'm
Yeah.
still finishing up this last season of Picard because I'm behind on that. And then I'm going to jump into that.
Well, then, since you've seen the first episode, Ray, what did you think?
I thought it was great. I actually thought it was a movie. Like I said, like yesterday, when it started playing, because I was doing the morning graphics because I just wanted to check it out. I had to do double takes. I was like, am I playing the right thing? This looks like a movie. And so, yeah, I really like it. I like all the effects in it. Rob, I had a question for you. When it comes to any Star Trek, let's say it doesn't start off on the right foot for you. Is it something that you could get back into? Or is that something that happens? Or are you
I'm
just
scared to even go
No,
in
no,
and
no, no.
answer
I'm
this
just
question.
it's a basic yes or no question.
Can
Like,
you take responsibility for this?
it's a basic yes or no question. Can you, if you checked out on the first episode, is it usually something that you could come back from if they pick it up or if they start doing things?
No, absolutely. I mean, anyone will tell you that modern Star Trek, beginning with Next Generation, started out slow. And I think actually, to me, the strongest of the modern Star Trek pilots was Deep Space Nine and Voyager too. Deep Space Nine's emissary and then Caretaker, the Voyager pilot, I thought were both very respectable pilots.
Okay.
Next Generation was a little. They were trying to recreate Star Trek. They didn't quite know what they were doing, and a lot of people like the Enterprise pilot Broken Bow. Those were different for me than Strange New Worlds because Strange New Worlds is harking back to the universe that I grew up watching, which was the original series.
Okay.
So, and there are things about it that I'll say this: I do not understand why the main character, Captain Pike, has seen his death. He's seen his moment of dying. Why would he ever be afraid of doing any mission on this new show, knowing he's not going to die on that mission?
Right.
He's like, this could be as dangerous as all get out, but you know what? I'll go do it because I'm not gonna die.
There
And I
might be
think
an
that's
answer at
odd
the end of
choice.
the series. Who
There
knows?
might be. There
Okay.
might be.
I think they actually asked that as a joke too, and we kind of went in on it a little bit.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just gonna leave it there. I think I've been respectful, and I haven't gone off. So Chris, let's get off that Star Trek topic
right.
before I get in trouble.
From late night alum, Master Chief clapping cheeks last night. Thoughts?
Yeah, see what that part I could have done without.
Yeah.
If people who haven't seen it, you'll know what he's talking about. But
Why could you have done without it?
just because like I didn't want, I don't know. I'm not used to seeing Master Chief with like a love interest. He's always been a soldier in the games. And that's where I say like, oh, there's a new interpretation. Like, you just be open to accept it. I have my faults too. Like that kind of bothered me. And like, even though I'm here preaching, oh, it doesn't have to be like the game. You should be open to their interpretation. If they feel it's better for the general audience. But that one a little bit bothered me, but now it's just wearing off and I'm ready for the next episode. It's fine. Like I'm not going to go on Twitter or like make a video about how the episode sucked or whatever. In whole that back end. Ooh, I watched it 3 times already. Like 30 minutes to the end. I watched it 3 times yesterday. It's looking good for the finale.
Well, for you to say that, then
Yeah.
the show's pretty good. Now, Chris, have you watched Halo at all?
I have not.
I have not either.
Okay.
I'm not
Sorry,
either.
Yeah, it's okay. No, I'm not gonna try to get people on. If I like it, I hope it stays on. Then I'll keep watching it. So
I know
you guys have your own things. I got my own
so
things.
many shows.
Yeah, I mean, but I would be interested to see how someone who's not familiar with the games, like you two,
Yeah.
would feel about a show like this.
Yeah, I mean, I only played the first Halo, but I would watch it as a science fiction show, and I do want to watch it.
Yeah. It's the one more episode, then you could just binge it.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right,
That's probably how I'll do it.
all right, Chris, what's next?
From Disney Freak 309. Since Lightyear releases next month, I wanted to hear from everyone what is their favorite Toy Story film. Mine is Toy Story 3.
Well, you know what? I have to say, I still hark back to the first Toy
too.
Story because
Yeah.
it was such a surprise. When Pixar was new, they didn't have that track record, and doing CG animation like that was a fairly new thing, and I was blown away by the first Toy Story. I was blown away by the emotion of it. I was blown away by and Toy Story, and to a certain extent, A Bug's Life.
Oh, I love A Bug's Life.
I loved A Bug's Life as well, and seeing how far Pixar has progressed, you can see that they have never let. I don't think they've ever like Cars was not my thing, but
No.
like my young nephew loves Cars. I did see Cars 3 with him, and while I don't love them, I understand they're still good movies. But Pixar's storytelling and the fact that they are able to elicit such genuine emotion and joy, earned emotion and joy. But that first Toy Story, I have to say, I was enchanted by it, and it was. I have fond memories of seeing it in a theater because it was really transportive, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that they've taken things like A World Where Mr. Potato Head and Bo Peep or whatever, and then make you love. And the fact that they created fictitious toys, like they could have gone back and fallen back on existing toys, but they created new characters that were redolent of something
Slinky
else.
Dog.
Well, that I loved. I mean,
Yeah.
so but it was to see Woody and Buzz. I mean, I love the first Toy Story. What about you, Chris?
I mean, definitely the first one is the one that resonated the most. That said, though, there were moments in that third film because I grew up with these movies, right? And so Andy giving his toys away and having that be so emotional, like I was just sobbing over that. The moment where they all just accept that they're all going to be incinerated.
That was
Like-
I couldn't believe they went there.
Yeah. Well, it's the best thing about Pixar is that it makes you deal with really, really heady concepts and these existential issues.
Right.
But it provides a safe space. I think it's a lot of the reason why people gravitate towards horror, right? It's a safe space to like learn about your fears.
Right.
That's how these movies have always been for me of like, oh my gosh, I'm a kid and I'm filled with so much existential dread and I do think about my mortality a lot. Thank you for talking to me in a way that isn't condescending and
Right.
a safe space for me to go, oh my gosh, yeah, this is what growing up is and this is what fear is and all these things.
Jonathan, Toy Story.
What about it? I love it.
Oh yeah. Mine's the first one because that's the only one I've seen. So
What?
But you
Oh,
know what?
you're so lucky.
You know,
The
now
others
that
are
I
great.
think about it, I don't think I ever saw the fourth one.
There's a
I
fourth
just saw
one?
like the
There
third.
is.
the third just really capped it off perfectly, and I'm like, why are we doing a fourth? I thought we just settled all of this.
That's how I felt too, but bless you.
Thank
It
you.
actually ended up being quite a good film. The
All
third
right.
one I still think should have been the end, but fourth they did a great job.
All right.
Well, there you go.
Yay.
So, Chris, what's next?
From Josie Reviews, what is Jason Voorhees? That's the guy from Halloween.
Voorhees.
Right?
Voorhees.
Favorite fast food restaurant? Chick-fil-A. Thank you. I killed your joke, Josie. I'm not familiar enough with Halloween.
By the way, today is
pretty good.
Friday the 13th.
It is.
Yes, kids. Today is
Yeah, I
Friday the
realized
13th.
that.
Hence a Jason Voorhees joke. By the way, what is the first movie where Jason Voorhees appears in a hockey mask?
I know the answer, but I'll.
Oh, go say it, Jonathan. I don't know it. Is it Bill and
No,
Ted's
I
Excellent
won't say
Adventure?
yet.
No,
You know?
what Friday the 13th movie does
I
Jason
don't know.
Voorhees first appear in a hockey mask?
I haven't seen any. Oh, I think I saw the first one. But.
Jonathan?
It's the third.
Yes, it is. Friday the 13th, 3D. He does not appear. By the way, do you know who the killer is? Well, I don't want to. I don't
No,
want to
no, no,
spoil
no,
it.
no,
Yeah, don't spoil the first if they
I
haven't
won't spoil
seen
the
it.
first one. By the way, the first Friday the 13th movie is still. I watched it recently, and I used to think it was this ferociously vicious movie. It's kind of quaint. You know, watching
Compared
it,
to
it's got some
today's
great
standards.
kills in it, but it's surprisingly like, oh,
So that explains why these NECA action figures I see on the shelf, like from the first one, he's maskless. He has like a really weird
that comes later.
face. Oh, okay,
Jason-
that's
Jason
a later.
being maskless was later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and in the second one, he's basically just wearing a bag over his head.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay.
So you know, so you have you ever seen a Friday the 13th movie? Not one.
Not one.
Not one.
No.
Not Jason. Jason Takes Manhattan.
I've
New
seen,
Blood?
I've seen the Muppet version of that.
It's
They
about
did
the
release a
same.
video
It's-
game.
They're both quaint. So
They did release a video game which I wanted to play for so long. It was like it was a multiplayer game, and one person is actually Jason, and all the rest, like however many players are in the game, they actually go try to find stuff to get out of the camp.
And you've never
Oh.
seen one either. You've never seen.
I believe I saw the first one. Well, I saw one and he had the mask on, so now I don't think it's the first one. It wasn't the 3D one.
Do you know they had a Jason versus Freddy movie?
Yes.
Did you know that?
I was
Yes.
aware of it.
Have you seen a Nightmare on Elm Street movie ever?
Nope. I'm sorry that I disappoint you.
Okay, Chris, what's next?
Existential dread every moment of my life.
I know. I can't. I
Nick.
can't.
Hey guys. So what did you think of season 2 of Picard? I like season 1, but season 2 was a slight step down for me. I can take this, Rob. So far, I do think it's a step down.
I would be happy if you would answer this question.
I
this
haven't
is Chris.
completed the season, but I did think season 1 was much stronger and much more compelling. And so far, while there are some really, really interesting storylines with Soong and everything, I'm not as compelled as I was in the last season. But I've got like 3 more episodes, so.
Ray, did you watch Picard?
Does he not use Cerebro anymore? I've been waiting for that part in Picard and it's not coming.
Yeah, you know Picard and Cerebro. No,
No, I haven't seen
the
it.
Cerebro was on the Enterprise D, and that crashed on Viridian 3. So
I will say, bless Patrick Stewart. I
Yeah.
mean, he's still going. You know, whatever he wants to do, do it.
yeah, I mean we know it's not a spoiler. We saw him or heard him in the trailer that Professor X is in Multiverse of Madness. So Patrick Stewart, he's playing Picard and he's playing Professor X legacy characters. So kudos to him.
Kudos.
Unfortunately, I will hold my
Oh
tongue.
yeah, see. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on.
All right, Chris, what's next?
From Sam Fisher, they should call the Spinal Tap sequel Spinal Tap 11 because 11 is 2 in binary. So now they can say the franchise goes to 11.
You know what? We didn't mention this. This news dropped yesterday. The original creators, Rob Reiner, the director, is coming back as filmmaker Martin DeBurgi and Harry Shearer. Why am I Harry Shearer? Why am I
Doctor
drawing-
Strange Fingers?
No, the cast of Spinal Tap. You know,
I've never seen it.
why am I drawing a blank on the cast of Spinal Tap's name besides Harry Shearer, Nigel Tufnell,
And Christopher Guest.
and Christopher
Yeah.
Guest and Michael McKean?
right.
Yeah.
The original cast of Spinal Tap. They're coming back for Spinal Tap 2. I can't wait.
That'll be fun.
Big Bottom, My Girl's Got One. How can I leave this behind? Come on.
Isn't Spinal Tap a mockumentary or
Yeah.
something? Okay, then you know what? I might
1984.
like it.
It's so fun, right?
I thought
think-
Top
think
Gun
it's
was a
hilarious.
crazy sequel to make, but this movie's going to come out almost 40 years after the original.
Do you have a favorite Christopher Guest mockumentary, Rob?
Waiting for Guffman.
I love Waiting for Guffman.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Your
Well, no,
opinion is
I agree. I actually think that might be my favorite.
What's that
I
one
love
about?
Best in Show.
I
Yep.
love
Oh,
Best
you know
in
what?
Show.
I just watched The Mighty Wind again.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah. But Waiting for Guffman, probably I got the most laughs on.
That's a great one.
Spinal, you've got to watch.
You'll love these, right?
You know, I'm starting to think Minority Island doesn't carry these movies. I will have to go back to my blockbuster
I
on
mean, well,
Minority
look at this
Island.
white ass cast. Come on.
Oh yeah, because all you guys know what you guys are talking about. I have no idea what's Guffman. What is? I'll read
Dude,
into
Ray,
it.
Waiting for
actually, you
Guffman's
probably
like
love it.
Waiting for Godot, but different.
Oh okay.
You know.
I have no idea what you just said. But go on.
But yes, you should watch Spinal. Spinal Tap is legitimately one of the funniest movies
So
I've
good.
ever
Oh
seen.
okay.
It's one, and it's not long. It's like 85 minutes.
Oh, it's fine.
It's really funny. And
I'm
if you
gonna check
like
it out.
rock and roll music,
Because it's mentioned so much that I do have to see it.
I just love the fact that they obviously these filmmakers have an idea. I can only imagine what it's like to catch up with these characters. You know, with Mick Jagger and the Stones still playing arena shows. What's Spinal Tap doing in
Yeah.
2022? I can't wait.
Excellent.
Chris, what's next?
From Ty Burton, sending in a $20 super chat, so thank you so much. One from the Heart did get a subpar Blu-ray release as part of the Coppola 5 film collection, but the guy in charge of Coppola's restoration said he's working on a new 4K edition. Here's hoping for a physical release.
Yeah, Ty is correct. I mean, I have to say that Coppola has done a great job restoring his films. They did Lionsgate first started, and they did Apocalypse Now. They obviously just re-released the Godfather restoration, but they've been going through his films. They did The Outsiders, a box set of The Outsiders came out, the complete novel, Rumblefish. So they're going back into Coppola's back catalog, and I'm sure that One from the Heart is a beautiful, beautiful movie. So yeah, I read that on Twitter. Their restoration guy tweeted out like 2 weeks ago that they're working on One from the Heart. So I would love to get
Adding
that.
that to the collection.
Always.
You gotta.
All right, Chris, what is next?
From Ulatan, wouldn't it be funny if Henry Cavill is Hercules in Love and Thunder since Russell Crowe is Zeus?
I never thought about that, but that could be cool.
That would be fun.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see Taika Waititi doing that too.
That's true.
Like I'm sure Russell Crowe would have suggested it. Like why not?
Yeah. I feel like Taika Waititi has a very like Rob sensibility of, wouldn't it be cool if?
Yep. I mean, that's the guiding principle. The guiding principle of my life is, wouldn't it be cool if that, or always never ask for permission, beg for forgiveness, get it done. Only if you know that what you're doing you can accomplish.
Yeah.
If you fail doing something, you can't ask for forgiveness. You have to accomplish something, get in trouble for doing it, and then ask for forgiveness.
Except for murder.
Except for murder.
Don't do
don't
that.
murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you have to be able to do this without infringing on anyone else's rights.
Yeah,
There we go.
that's the whole
Okay.
point of
Yeah, you don't want to infringe on anyone else's rights.
I'm taking so many bold stances today. I draw the line at murder. That's where
yeah,
that's where good old Chrissy Carr
murder,
decides
destruction
morality
of property.
lies. Yeah.
You know, I don't want to hurt anyone else.
Fair.
You know, basically, it's like when you're making a low budget movie and you want to go steal a shot on a street corner.
Yeah.
You know, you come out as long as you get the shot pulled off. When the police show up and go, "Sir, do you have a permit for this shoot?"
What?
Do I need a permit,
Do I need a
officer?
permit?
I don't.
I
I
did that
don't-
recently.
Well,
I was like,
yeah.
it's a student film. I'm just doing it for my acting class. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, as long as you get the shots.
Yep.
Then
Then
you're
get the
good.
hell out of there.
Please, officer. You know, I've done that more than.
break the law,
There it
folks.
is.
The
No, we
opinions
do
on the
not
John
advocate
Campea Show
breaking
do
I'm
not
just
express those of John
kidding.
Campea himself.
All right, Chris, what is next now that we're talking about being illegal filmmakers?
From Tim sending in a $20 super chat. Thank you, Tim. Just wanted to say thank you for being there. I lost my brother yesterday, so I'm grateful for you guys for helping put on a smile on my face. Oh, Tim, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Tim.
Hang in there, and we're sending you and the rest of your family so much love. Thank you for still tuning in. We really appreciate you being here. And anything you need, please reach out and let us know.
That is very nice of you to support us in this way, and I'm glad we could provide some solace.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tim and your family. And what is next?
We'll go to Sam Fisher now. I had a friend in high school who would rave about Sucker Punch. I thought it was a cool concept, but poorly executed. Like Timberlake's In Time.
Oh, you know what? Not many people bring up In Time.
Yeah.
In Time was.
In Time. That was. I liked it.
I was disappointed, man. I think
What?
it was no, because it was made by the man who made Gattaca.
Love Gattaca.
And I know, and I thought In Time would be great. And Andrew Nichol. And I was disappointed with In Time. I love Justin Timberlake as a performer. You know, he was so great as Sean Parker in The Social Network. And I loved Friends with Benefits.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
He's been off the radar for a little bit, right? I haven't seen him. He hasn't done any music. I haven't seen him any news on him. Maybe he's
Maybe he's just being a
doing
dad.
the family life.
He was also great in Inside Llewyn Davis. That
Oh,
scene
yeah.
when they sing, "Hey, Mr. Kennedy." Uh-oh, so good.
But I will say this: Justin Timberlake is like Lady Gaga. As soon as they bring out a new song, you know it's already a hit.
Yeah.
Like they're almost guaranteed.
He collaborated with Duran Duran. You know,
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So I look. I'm a big fan of Justin Timberlake, but In Time wasn't so good. What's next?
From Chicharo, weird. Why doesn't Warner Brothers have a theme park? I mean, they kind of do. We've got Six Flags that has a lot of WB properties.
Yeah,
in it.
and Universal has the Harry. They license their properties out for other theme parks.
Exactly.
But it's maybe they just don't want to be in the theme park business.
Maybe.
But they do have lots of theme park attractions at
Yeah.
other people's parks.
That Harry
In a
Potter
sense,
ride.
it's better, right? You don't have to worry about insurance costs and
Yeah.
all the
Exactly.
other,
You
let
make
other
your
people
buck
deal
and then
with
you
it.
boogie. I think that works. I love that Universal's Harry Potter world. It's one of my favorite places to hang out in LA.
When you go there in a slow day, we went there in a slow day. There was two things that me and my sisters actually did. We went on the Harry Potter ride, I think 15 times in a row. We counted because we kept running off and then getting back in line. And then the Walking Dead thing, the zombie house, we ran through it so fast because it scares us a little bit, so we ran through it so fast. We went through this door. We didn't realize it was the exit halfway that some lady actually had to say, "Hey, no, the rest of the maze is inside." It was just hilarious. He had to be there because we were just ducking and running through. And so the guys didn't even have time to set up because you know how they wait for groups to come in. So the guy was just barely turning on his chainsaw when we just ran through.
Wow.
Well, anyway, story time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, Chris, what's next?
From Christopher Brickner, thoughts on Halo show so far? Needs more Covenant. You had already talked about this.
I agree.
Yeah.
More aliens, the better.
Sweet.
All right, Chris.
From Michael Serta. Chris, hi. I know you don't like horror movies, but please tell me you've seen clips of Toni Collette's performance in Hereditary. Much love, crew. I have not. My dear sweet friend Megs, who's in the chat here, a lot of times we will start to watch a horror movie together where I will watch the very beginning and I turn my back to the television and I'll just be hanging out with her and Logan for a while. And then she'll go, "Okay, you can leave now. This is where it gets scary." I'm like, "Okay, bye guys." And then I'll go read a book or something in the other room. I don't like horror. I get so scared and will have nightmares for so long. I didn't watch Saw until like 7 to 10 years after it came out. When we watched it, a fan blade fell off our fan and flew across the room and almost killed my husband. And I spent the rest of the night crying and making sure he checked every nook and cranny for Jigsaw because I was convinced that someone was going to murder me. Like, I can't watch these movies, you guys.
I think you should watch Hereditary. It's just a family drama.
What about Shaun of the Dead? Have you seen that?
I love Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
I can deal with like stylized violence, like Tarantino and the stuff that Edgar Wright does. I can deal with like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's just a lot of actually like scary things
right. I got
just
you.
hit me in a visceral way.
You should watch Hereditary. Just get back to me. It's a family drama. Just watch Hereditary.
No.
I'd love to hear your thoughts.
No.
It's quaint.
It's
great,
not.
yeah.
I know all of you are full of so much shit.
Just watch a little Hereditary.
I am. Can we take a bathroom break?
So what's next?
From Xander, did John ever get a one wheel? What's a one wheel?
A one,
the little one tire
Yeah,
things?
man.
You know, I've seen someone actually who lives in the area where I live. I think they had just bought it, and the two times that I passed him, I was scared for his life. He looked like he was gonna eat because he was going downhill.
Oh, yeah.
Both times I passed by him, different days. Like this guy is practicing. I'm like, man, I do not want to see an ambulance or something here. Like
I've always wanted to ride one.
I'm
I
too
grew up
scared. I'm
skateboarding.
too scared.
I'm
I need to be covered by like metal in order to feel safe. Like I'm the type where if I get an electric bike, I know the second day someone's gonna accidentally hit me.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where I just feel I don't have any luck.
Wow. All right.
But
what's
he
next?
didn't get one. He didn't get one.
Oh, no.
Nope.
All right, let's see what's next here. From Blackjack Hooligan, there are so many great 4K drops coming. Lawrence of Arabia, Bride on River Kwai.
Bridge.
Oh, Bridge, thank
Yeah.
you. I was like, that's a movie
It's
I've never
misspelled.
heard of. Dog Soldiers. What are some upcoming releases you're excited for, Rob?
Well, I have Lawrence of Arabia on 4K because it came as part of the Columbia set. But there is so much great stuff coming out in 4K. And now, of course, I'm drawing a blank, but they just announced Stanley Kubrick's The Killing in 4K. Kino Lorber did this week.
Ooh.
I'm a huge Stanley Kubrick fan, so to be able to get The Killing on 4K is great. The Raging Bull, Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull in 4K. Can't wait to get that. But like you said, we're getting an embarrassment of riches when it comes to 4K, which is, for me, in my mind, 4K is where physical media goes to die. And there's someone I can finally get a definitive 4K disc. I know that's the last version of that movie that I will buy. But yeah, there's a lot of great stuff coming. What I really want, and Kino Lorber announced this, but they haven't yet said anything about it, is William Friedkin's To Live and Die in LA in 4K. That's one of my favorite films. They announced that they were doing it, and I'm worried they can't find the elements to make the 4K transfer. Where's the negative?
Let me ask you something real quick, Rob.
What if I said
is it the studios who ultimately decide if they can make money off of making a movie 4K, or is it just whatever studios like top movies are? Who decides that?
That's actually a very good question. I mean, the studios, first of all, a lot of the studios are doing new transfers of their films in 4K as to future-proof them, because all streaming services, I mean, eventually there will be 8K things and there'll be higher resolutions, mostly for gaming and other things. But I really believe, because the human eye can't see much beyond 4K, so eventually all of the major studio catalog releases will be there'll be 4K versions of them. But they decide like what they're going to put out, especially on physical media, because as we've talked about, physical media drops about 15 to 20% every year in terms of sales. So they still think people are still buying 4K discs, people like myself, because they're the best versions of the movies. But they decide what they think is going to sell.
Okay.
And they often tie in 4K releases based on, do they have a sequel coming out to something, and then they'll go back in and release a box set or whatever. So
Nice.
what's next?
From OG Jedi 2021, my Manscaped set shipped this morning, guys. A handwritten note from my balls will be sent as soon as I receive it.
Wow.
Good thing he doesn't know
Your
our
balls
address.
have hands?
Okay.
From Drago Hernandez.
Do you have a doctor?
Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. Happy Friday the
Friday
13th
the
to you, show.
Yes, happy Friday the 13th. You guys should watch a Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, I'm sure Chris will.
Absolutely not.
Come on, try
I'm
one.
going to go home and watch DuckTales and feel safe.
So fun. All right, what's next?
From Assistant Professor X. Great job today, Rob. Love the show.
Oh, well, thank you, Assistant Professor X. Great. I hear from the assistant professor, not the actual professor. But
The
you know what?
adjunct.
All kidding aside, that's very nice, because I have big shoes to fill here, so it's been a little nerve-wracking, but I'm glad you enjoyed the comedy stylings we brought to you today. It's a real honor to be hosting the John Campea Show.
It takes a lot of energy up here because I'm finding myself thinking about what I'm going to eat for lunch, when that usually doesn't happen until after I cut up the segments. But right now, I am thinking about lunch. I'm so hungry right now for some reason. Is it the lights?
It's the action. It's the action.
up here. Okay.
All right, Chris, what's next?
From Suthius. Never fight a dinosaur. You'll get Jurassic kicked. Jurassic kicked.
That's kind of funny. Don't fight a dinosaur, get your ass kicked.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, Jurassic kicked. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, that is pretty good, man. Can I borrow that?
You can use this as
Jurassic
copywritten.
Nice. Nice. I seriously didn't. Thank you, Chris.
I didn't read it right the first time.
That's okay.
All right, Sam Automatic, 4K versus HDR. What's better?
Well, HDR is high dynamic range. You can have a movie that's in 4K. As a matter of fact, a lot of what Kino Lorber has been putting out in 4K does not necessarily have high dynamic range on it. The movie that I produced, Tango Shalom, unfortunately, we finished it in 4K, but we did not finish it in high dynamic range. What I would prefer, my preference, is to get a 4K transfer in Dolby Vision, because with HDR and HDR10, there's metadata that the file is sending to your equipment. If you have a 4K with HDR equipped equipment, Dolby Vision readjusts your high dynamic range colors much more than just standard HDR or HDR10. So given a choice, I want things in 4K Dolby Vision, if that makes any sense.
For those rich blacks.
Those rich blacks.
Love it.
Yes, Chris. What is next?
From Chuck the Mystery again. Loved a lot of the CW shows myself. Rob, do you see Superman and Lois moving over to HBO and leaving CW?
I do. I mean, I think that's probably. I feel that HBO Max is a better place than the CW, because the CW is going away anyway. And I've always thought, even from the first episode, I thought that Superman and Lois had a higher sheen. It just felt more like it was less goofy. It was more grounded. It had more gravitas to me. So I could see it absolutely surviving on HBO Max. What do you guys think?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the production on it actually looked a lot better than a lot of the other shows.
All right, what's next?
From Johnny Wiener. First of all, I wanted to say, hope that everything is well for John. Rob, the Hot Toys Iron Spider I have is red and gold from the game, not that metallic red and navy blue garbage, so-called Iron Spider.
So yes, you have the video game. So for those of you who don't know, Hot Toys has been doing a great line of Spider-Man from the actual Spider-Man video game. And look, man, I'm talking Iron Spider from Infinity War. I like that. But the Iron Spider from the video game is a great figure. So you are correct.
They had that figure at Frankenstein's, and I was actually thinking about getting it just because the Iron Spider looks so cool. There was 3 choices that I had because I was going to get a hot toy that day. It was Rey. I'm sorry. It was Rey from Star Wars.
No, it's a good figure, though.
Iron Spider and Alita Battle Angel. But I was really just going for what was available, and I do not want to be my first hot toy to be just because it was available.
Your first time should be special.
Yeah, it has to be the one that I want.
Yeah,
so.
that's ooh, honey. Yeah. The one that I want.
Well done.
You are the one I want. So that is a great figure. But I think that Iron Spider only has 3 legs, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah.
It's a cool figure, though. And I love those figures. I mean, I've got the Scarlet Spider. I've got Spider-Man 2099.
That's a great one.
I'm trying to think of what other. There's one other one I have.
Imagine the Oscar Isaac version of that. The real animated, because he's top heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would look cool. I hope they continue the Spider-Verse line in Hot Toys.
I think they will. I think they're going to continue that.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
From BJ, when is the hot toy of Zaslav with an axe going to be announced?
Not soon enough, man. I mean, they don't make enough Warner Brothers characters hot toys as it is, but I would love to get David Zaslav as the Frank Frazetta Molly Hatchet album cover painting, the famous Death Dealer. Although they do make a figure of the Death Dealer. Maybe somebody can just do a
Hot toys. Come on.
Zaslav head sculpt.
Where's your executive line? you
Yeah,
cowards?
man, come on.
Chapek, Iger, Adam Aaron. People buy Bob Chapek. But it would be cheap. It would be like the first $50 hot toy.
No, they would charge you more. They would charge more. Okay, Chris, what's next?
From Crashing Coyote. Guys, please catch up with Better Call Saul. The last season right now is on pace to be the best season out of Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Well, I'm waiting. It's the final season. I got to buy, like I did with Breaking Bad, I bought the 50-gallon oil drum of the entire series. And I watched some of the first season of Better Call Saul, but I wanted to wait. So I don't know why.
You've been waiting for a long time.
I'm waiting for a long time, so that's why.
Okay.
So I'm going to get the whole series and binge the whole thing.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I watched a few episodes of Breaking Bad and it just wasn't my kind of show. There's enough shit happening in the world, I like my TV to be with nicer people.
DuckTales, we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
All right.
I'm gonna just do that every time you guys say DuckTales.
Perfect. Richard K. My favorite movie is The Mask of Zorro. Wasn't keen on the sequel. Could we get a third Banderas Zorro movie where he passes the torch to his son Joaquin and he becomes the Zorro of the future movies?
Man, I would. That movie is dope.
Yeah.
The Mask of Zorro. It was directed by Martin Campbell, I believe, who directed Casino Royale and GoldenEye.
Oh, nice.
I love that movie. It's great. Antonio Banderas is great in anything. Even though he's
Oh
getting
my
older,
gosh.
he's great.
He's always fantastic. I mean, in Uncharted, he's
Yeah.
great.
There wasn't enough of him.
He was not used well.
He
in
got done
Uncharted,
dirty in
but
that movie.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah.
It's not good. But I love that film. Mask of Zorro is a great. It still holds up really well. It's a great movie. Check that out. All right, Chris, what's next?
From Raphael, my sincere thoughts and compassionate positive energy is with you and your family, John. Oh, Raphael, that's very
It's
sweet.
very nice.
Yeah.
We're excited to pass all these messages along to John. Jason, hey gang, my girlfriend got me my first pop last week as a gift, Doctor Strange, before seeing the movie. I have bought 19 Sin in a week. Jason.
My
she created a
God, my
monster.
man. That's the way I do it.
I understand why you all say.
Oh.
I understand why you all say they are addictive now. Yeah.
Well, let me take this one right here. Okay. I didn't have any pops, right? And I started working, or I went back to Collider,
Dude,
and
you
there's
me at-
Jonathan
you,
and
me,
Dennis.
and Dennis Zen at Collider and AMC.
They put my desk between them, and Dennis on my right I see has this wall of pops. To my left I see Jonathan has some pops. I'm like, what are those? Oh, they're these things, blah 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 blah. So I go onto Amazon, buy my first pop. It's Apollo Creed,
Nice.
right? So I put it on my desk. I'm like, I'm part of the boys now. That weekend, I went back on Amazon. I ordered 36 pops because
Come on.
they were $10 each, and I was like, they have every character I ever liked. So I just started picking characters that I liked from every movie.
That's a hot point and a half you spent.
Yeah.
I just searched Funko Pops, and all the ones from the movies I liked, I clicked add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. I got a big box, and that was the start. And now I'm kind of done with it.
Did you have to borrow money from John to make it?
No, that was like straight up financing, 6 months, Amazon card, opened up the Amazon card, opened up American Express, split the bill, things. It's different on my side of town, baby.
I am glad that we are not a financial advice channel.
Yeah.
Because, boy, between your pops and my Hot Toys addiction,
It
I
was
don't know.
insane. At
Jonathan's the investment guy.
Yeah.
At the AMC and then later Collider Studio between Dennis and myself and Ray, it was just like the walls were covered with pops everywhere.
Every lunch, I would skip lunch just to buy a pop at Hot Topic. We just kept buying them, because we would go to lunch, we would go to the mall.
Yeah.
And
Now
they'd be
mine
like,
are in a
oh, just
box
one
in a
pop. It's only
garage.
$10. Combo meals from Carl's Jr. are more expensive than a pop. But now they're expensive. They're like $15 each now. So,
Done with that.
Anyway.
Chris, what's next?
From Josie Reviews, again, I'm so sorry I botched your Friday the 13th joke. I thought Firestarter was okay. The score was fire.
I haven't heard much good about this new Firestarter. I want to see it. I mean, I read the book when it first came out.
is this releasing in theaters or is it just
it's
streaming?
Band-Aid today.
Today.
Oh, HBO Max?
No, it's Peacock.
Peacock. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I want to see it. I'm a huge Stephen King fan, so yeah. What's next?
From A. Marcellus, whatever the next big Star Wars trilogy is, I hope there's a well-rounded, cohesive script. And for the love of God, stop treating the Jedi like crap. Sequels. New Jedi in full glory.
No, I mean, I agree. That was one of the things I liked about the prequels is that you saw the Jedi kick ass. But yeah, they kind of got, they were kind of dumb, allowing the Lord Sidious to grow in their midst.
Well, that whole thing was so stupid.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about it. I want to see the Jedi at the height of their powers. I think that's a good
on
idea.
Tatooine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On
Tatooine for sure.
of course.
Tatooine.
Always
Center of the
Tatooine.
universe.
All right, Chris, what's next?
Lucky BX, if the MCU brings back Wanda, give her a break from the Avengers storyline and let her mix in with the X-Men. We won't get super into that because,
Yeah, we can't. We don't
want to talk about where everyone ends up.
But I will say this. I mean, in the comics, Wanda is a mutant. And they have yet to acknowledge mutants in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, really. I mean, they call them miracles.
Yes.
You know, I mean, now you could maybe say that, but they haven't really. Where are the X-Men? Where are they? Where is Homo Superior in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Was Apocalypse in Egypt? I don't know. Do the Egyptian gods know Apocalypse? I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to know though.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what's next?
From Bert, excuse me. Happy birthday, Rob.
Oh, well, thank you.
The 15th. We'll catch you later, bro.
My birthday is Sunday.
Yeah.
Forgetting. I know. My birthday's Sunday. I keep
wish I
forgetting.
knew.
What's that?
I wish I knew. I would have brought you something
I
today.
have him in my calendar.
No, it's okay.
Rob's
You,
birthday.
you know,
I would have baked something, man.
well, you can always,
I could bring it Monday.
you can bring him
gonna
Monday.
say-
There you go. There you go.
It's my
Birthday
birthday
plan.
week. My birthday week begins on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, you're
It
only
goes
getting
for a
Monday.
week.
It's
treats.
Robapalooza.
It's Robapalooza. You know whose birthday we can celebrate though on Monday? John Schnepp's.
Oh, right.
John Schnepp, he had his birthday was a day after mine.
Oh, wow. I didn't
He was
know
one
that.
day younger than me.
Same
I
year?
can't be- Oh, wow.
It's your birthday?
No, I'm saying it was the same year you and Schnepp?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Me and Schnepp we were May babies the same year.
Wow, you guys
baby.
are meant to be.
Our parents
Yeah,
are
you
doing
and
it
Sue.
at the same time.
Okay.
Man.
Wow.
So what's next?
From Alex Martin. Hey, Rob, what do you think of NECA action figures and the McFarlane ones? I love Hot Toys, but they are too expensive for me. I do have a lot of the NECA horror figures and love them. Thanks.
Oh,
NECA figures are great. I mean, they've made just about everything. Anything you want, NECA will make. I mean, the only problem with NECA, sometimes I have quality control issues,
Yeah,
like plastic breaks and
the,
stuff.
the prices are great considering.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, some of my I have a knife head and a Gypsy Danger from
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim, the 18-inch ones. I love them.
Yeah, the quarter scale, if you're going to go up, that's a difference of the quarter scales in Hot Toys. They could reach up to like brand new, like just released, not the older ones, because of course they're going to be, but brand new, they're like $600, $700.
Yeah.
The NECA ones are like $125.
Yeah.
With the same amount of impact because of the size.
Yep,
So,
and the NECA makes a lot of cool stuff, and they make a lot of diverse stuff. So if you have a lot of, they make so many different kinds of horror characters.
and they're in California. Always support your local companies, you know?
Yeah.
There you
know
go.
what I mean?
All right, Chris, what's next?
From Dr. Bright. Hey, guys, my birthday is tomorrow. I turned 25. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, Dr. Bright, now that you're a quarter century old,
Yeah.
you better accomplish great things. Happy birthday. That's we May babies, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, baby.
We are Tauruses though, so we're
Maybes.
full of bull.
Well done.
What are you gonna do? What's next?
From Tyler V602, classic movie suggestions. 1987's 3 O'Clock High. Absolutely hilarious. Also, not a classic yet, but Mel Gibson's Bloodfather is really good.
Yeah, I want to see that. By the way, 3 O'Clock High, directed by Phil Joannou, starring the great Richard Tyson, who starred with Sherilyn Fenn in Two Moon Junction.
What do you not know?
Come on, man. 3 O'Clock High is a Casey Shamasco stars in that movie. 3 O'Clock High is one of the great, it's kind of a forgotten, it's not a John Hughes movie. I think it came out in 87.
Yeah, that's what he says anyway, 87.
It's brilliant.
Is it-
I love 3 O'Clock
Is
High.
that the one
It's
where
so-
he kind of befriends that guy to kind of he helps protect him? There's like a bully at the end of the movie or whatever. What's the title?
well, it's about he touches a bully who doesn't like to be touched.
Right, okay.
And then they have to fight at 3 o'clock.
Oh, that's the point of the movie.
Whoa.
Well, you got.
Oh yeah,
more than that.
okay.
You got to
I
touch
knew there was
things
a
like
bully
if you
involved.
touch
It's just
this-
funny.
You just got to watch it, and he's got kind of this cool punk rock girl that's in love with him. It's really good, and it's beautifully directed. Phil Joannou was kind of discovered in film school. He was when I was at USC. Everybody wanted to be Phil Joannou. He directed U2's movie Rattle and Hum, the concert film. He also made Final Analysis with Richard Gere and Kim Basinger. Never mind. I
okay.
won't go on. Just everybody should watch 3 O'Clock High. You will love it. Good
Love it.
call.
All right, and then we have so much support coming in. We have Brian Whitney sending in another $50 super chat. Thank you
Brian,
so much,
you're the
Brian.
man.
John Wicked, Chiba666, Jedediah Elias sending in a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Jedediah. Rob C, the Robo Producer, Noah AG, and then who is up here at
Can't
the
really
top?
see it.
Carr.
RA sent a $2 super chat, so thank
Woo.
you very much.
Thanks, all right. We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much to everyone who supported us today. That's amazing.
That is so cool. Thank you so much. And guess what? That'll do it for this episode of the John Campea Show. The first time I've hosted. I hope I did an okay job for all of you. Of course, I couldn't have done it without the great support of producer Jonathan back there. and my two compatriots all the way from the island,
The island,
Ray Ora?
the minority island.
and of course, the woman of 1,000 voices, Miss Chris Carr. Actually, she's not Miss, but Chris Carr.
Yeah.
She's a hit. I, of course, am Robert Meyer Burnett. Where can they find you, Chris, on social media?
Oh, you can find me at actor Chris Carr on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you're interested in voiceover, you can go to eebstudios.com where I teach group classes.
Ray?
Ray Ora with a 0. And I just want to ask, like, if you guys have a little bit of time sometime in your day, just, keep your prayers for John and his family. I know we need it right now. So, yeah. But everyone have a good weekend. Have fun. Be safe.
And I want to thank all of you who generously support this channel via super chats and tips. With the super chats, you give us something great to talk about and contemplate and ruminate over, and you also support the channel. What?
Where can people find Jonathan?
Oh, where
They can
people
find me,
Jonathan?
behind the curtain.
I'm sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. I was just going to say, you give us something great to talk about.
Okay.
You can find me, Robert Meyer Burnett, on Twitter at BurnettRM. I can once again mention it. You can follow me on Instagram at RM Burnett. Maybe John Campea will one day follow me. Or you can find me on my own YouTube channel, The Post Geek Singularity, or on TikTok at Post Geek Singularity, or go to my website, postgeeksingularity.com. My name is Robert Meyer Burnett one more time because I haven't said it enough right now. And I want to thank you for this episode of the John Campea Show, and thank you for being a generous audience. And this was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And I want to thank all of you lovely people.
The camera.
And on that note, bye-bye.